Unmuting the mics. Hello,
Yay.
this is Fail Portrayal. Oh, and I gotta set the @ Yes. I went to @ everybody. Alright, okay, before I tab over. Hello, chat. It's been a little bit. I've been sick. I apologize if I still sounded, but I took some decongestant, so I'm not coughing or sniffling right now. I'm still a little cooked, but I have applied the secret technique of damp washcloth. So I will be keeping cool. So this episode will be the Koa'ki Meirus, and this is a conversation I had beforehand, which is I have double-checked if we have done a Koa'ki Meiru episode. I cannot find it because I have double-checked the channel on my back end, searched titles and descriptions for any version of spelling Koa'ki and Meiru, including with and without the apostrophe. The apostrophe is in there. Iron Core and Chimera. Chimera only turns up the Fusion Chimera Baphomet episode. So,
Right.
As much as I know we feel like we've talked about some of these cards, and I think we have looked at some of them in other contexts, I cannot find the quote-unquote Koa'ki Meiru episode. I'm pretty sure we haven't talked about all the spell traps neither, but this was the Patreon poll.
Yeah.
And the members poll. I combined them both, and it won by like 2. Thank you both for everybody for showing up to them. And just now, as we were counting down, me and the boys were talking about the lore. And yes, there is Koa'ki Meiru lore, which I'm also pretty sure we haven't actually broken up. It's pretty simple, but basically, in the demon world, not the dark world, the demon world. There's a abandoned lab.
It's still Makai, a demon world.
Yeah. But there's an abandoned laboratory in the demon world where Kozaki does experiments on something called the Iron Core of Koa'ki Meiru, which will be the first card we'll pull up. You can also just see the card art right there in the thumbnail. That's what I picked for the thumbnail. But they experiment with it, and then they do stuff. So basically, sorry, I'm literally skimming over, the tabs, because they have the little, when you do the Valuable Book EX, they have, like, the little boxes with the text. It's just, like, the notes that like, Kozaki and the others took. And, they just stuck the Iron Core in different stuff. Robots, sand dolls. They put
like
living subjects.
It's like we just shoved Double Gun themselves into the object to see what happens.
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah.
And then did a bunch of other weird shit.
You can't tell me that's not what they just did, essentially.
I know from what I know the Koa'ki Meiru, I was one to Fleeing Frog, but there was, I think it was only had like the one good card in Koa'ki Meiru at the time, which was Guardian.
Yeah.
There's like a couple of okay cards.
There's a couple of them.
Ice is kind of okay.
So Koa'ki Meiru is a really weird deck, chat. The core card, I'll pull it up in regular so you can see it. The core card of the Iron Core, the classic Iron Core of Koa'ki Meiru, which also to explain that as well. The name in Japanese is Koa'ki Meiru, so it's like Core Chimera, but also like Meiru as in mail, like electronic mail. So it's also sometimes translated as Koa'ki Mail, because it's a pun. It's one of those things that's just like not going to translate to English. So they just, and this was post UDE, I'm pretty sure, because this was like 5D's era or maybe late GX, like very late GX. But for some reason they decided to just keep it Koa'ki Meiru as like the Japanese name instead of Core Chimera. But only for, like, some of them. Sometimes they use the core, and they translate it as core. It's weird. But the core card... I didn't mean for that to be a pun. I'm sorry, chat. The core card of the deck, though, is Iron Core of Koa'ki Meiru, which is a normal spell which just reads, during your draw phase, if this card's in your graveyard, add this card to your hand instead of drawing, and or send a Koa'ki Meiru monster from your hand to the graveyard to add this card to your hand. Its only effect is, during your draw phase, you get to recycle it, possibly for free, but also for cost, for a net 0, a +0. Actually, no, it's always a +0 because you don't draw a new card. You get to add it back to your hand. Now, why the fuck does that happen? Well, chat, it's because most, not all of them, most of the Koa'ki Meiru monsters have a maintenance cost. During the end phase, you need to either show Iron Core, or discard Iron Core, or send Iron Core from your deck to the graveyard, or something.
Or
they blow up.
Or your monster go boom boom.
Yeah, so your monster fucking blows up. Some of them have other costs, and usually that is where the thing we were talking about just now, where those cards have been playable in other decks, comes in. I think Ice, Dallas mentioned, just has to show a water monster, maybe an Aqua. We'll find out shortly. I know for a fact Drago, which is a floodgate, requires you to show a dragon.
Ice is continuous spell.
Okay, Ice is continuous spell. Okay. So all of them have weird costs like that. So you can play Koa'ki Meirus if they have good effects in other decks, and that's probably where we've definitely... Sorry, probably definitely. It's my verbal tick. But I'm reasonably certain that we have talked about them in the context of other decks that way.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, because they show up as tech cards in a lot of other decks.
Mention them in brief with, I think, Adam Peters, because that was definitely one thing where they can just say, hey, I just special summon this card, now you have a monster negate to worry about. Yeah,
there's a couple of rock boys.
I think the reason people might think we've done this before is, and this is a problem I had, because I spent the first, hour being like, haven't we done Koa'ki Meiru before? Is that I literally get Koa'ki Meiru and Karakuri confused in my head all the time.
I just
don't know why.
I just remember we've covered some of the Creed cards of it. I just know we have covered some of them.
We've definitely looked at some of them.
I know we have not.
I don't think we've looked at them comprehensively. And I said this to Axe, because Axe was in here first when I got in. I said this to Axe before we started rolling. I did a full lookup list of this archetype to prep for this episode. There are some Koa'ki Meirus that I saw, and I'm like, I've literally never seen this Yu-Gi-Oh card before.
I have seen 3 of these Yu-Gi-Oh cards before. I have seen Ice.
So
we've
definitely talked about some of them. Is it? I think Doom is the demon guy, or is that Valifar? They might both be demon guys.
That's Valifar. Never seen him.
Okay.
Yeah, Doom is the one that can just, if you know the 2 cards along with it, LA Justice, what?
Sure. Sorry, excuse me, that was a burp that snuck up on me. Interrupted myself. So like I said, I'm pretty sure we have looked at a Valifar or a guy like that for some reason, but what I was saying was, if we did it, it's the most un-SEO optimized episode ever, so we're doing
I remember being part of when we were doing something else at the same time, so when we did longer streams where it was because my mind conflates it when we were doing extra heroes and shit.
And we might have tucked him in early, I don't know, but like I said, I can't recall, like I said, literally can't recall some of these cards. Let's talk about the other version. They eventually realized the Iron Core was not cool enough. So in Primal Origin, 5 years later, they came up with Diamond Core, which does look pretty cool. But Diamond Core is a normal spell that says, add a Koa'ki Meiru card from your deck to your hand except Diamond Core. You can banish this card from your graveyard for the rest of this turn. Koa'ki Meirus you control can't be destroyed, period. So the problem that the Iron Core has is, obviously, it's the easiest thing for you to show to keep your Koa'ki Meirus alive when we start talking about them. And, chat, I have not assembled any particular order other than alphabetical. We're going to start at the top at A, or might actually be B. I don't know if there's any A's. Let me look at my list.
We're not really doing a release order here.
Okay, it starts at B's. So we're going to start at a B, and then we're going to go all the way to W. I don't think there's any Z's. And the first B is a card that I'm like, I've never... This is a guy. Anyway, we'll get to that in just a second.
Question. When was the last Koa'ki Meiru released?
The most recent Koa'ki Meiru is still, got to be at least 5 years. I don't know if they've had support this decade. which means obviously Konami's going to announce it any day because we're doing an FP. But like, the guy I'm thinking of, Beetle, I think is from like 2010.
Yeah.
So like, I've never seen this guy before.
Yeah, there's a lot of these cartoons. Like, I feel like Koa'ki Meiru is one of those archetypes that's just like, they would really need to just toss out the whole thing and rework.
They probably need to just do a new card that is just like Shin Iron Core Koa'ki Meiru, true
like,
Neo Iron, and just have this card's name counts as Iron Core in hand and graveyard.
And you can just show it.
They also
can just show it in hand to replace the discard from hand for cost.
Yeah.
Honestly, what they're trying to do is like the upkeep. It's like upkeep. It's an upkeep effect for like how like in Magic or other card games where there's an up. You pay energy to basically keep the thing alive on board, and it doesn't work the greatest in Yu-Gi-Oh.
And no, because usually
so I think they could do
thing,
prototype. They could probably do prototype Koa'ki Meiru, like as like
well,
the idea
fact,
like the one that
is a card
has
later.
an
There is
undying
actually
engine.
a monster called Koa'ki Meiru prototype.
Okay.
But it's interesting. You're right. It's supposed to be a maintenance cost effect, and the idea that it's balanced is most of these have really nasty continuous or like floodgate effects. The problem is that makes them like all the good Koa'ki Meirus are the ones that are really annoying. I think Drago
spoiler.
is the you can't summon lights or darks.
I'm of the opinion, and I don't know how controversial this is, because might be my Magic player brain speaking. This is an archetype that can be left in the past to die in obscurity. Like, I don't
write
think you
this
ever
off
want
as a failed
this to be
experiment.
playable.
Yeah, like I think you could write it off as a failed experiment.
Technically, we have spiritual successors to this archetype already.
What, Mystic Mind?
Not Mystic Mind.
Let's get to it.
No, there are other archetypes which involve like the showing stuff to your opponent. But let's start pulling down some of these numbers because like this is the stuff that's gonna make you go, huh? So we're gonna start at B, Koa'ki Meiru Beetle, and like I saw this guy and I'm like, this was a guy. It's a beetle. It's a big-ass beetle. He has got the Iron Core symbol in his eyeball and also makes it on his back because I don't get, but Japan thinks of beetles with thunder.
I mean, we've covered a lot of beetles. I think it's the idea like of a stag beetle having long horns.
No, I can literally tell you why. I'm so glad I get to say a Japan fact for once.
Oh.
So most species of beetles, particularly thunder beetles and stag beetles, more commonly come out after raining seasons. So they are associated with thunder because that's when bugs, or specifically beetles, like to come out. So the thunder, quote unquote, brings the beetle. I mean, it's technically the rain that brings them, but still.
Yeah. No, but I totally understand.
That's why they're associated with that.
Artwork.
Yeah, Animal Planet documentaries being my entire childhood.
I mean, it makes sense.
This guy's pretty normal. Go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, very normal. Very normal. The insignia is not on the card, but it's projecting it.
Yeah. Well, no, it also is in his eyeball.
Oh, I
guess
that's
it's a little hard to tell, but yeah. So he has the symbol. This guy, like I said, he's a big beetle. We've seen a few of them in a handful of insect archetypes. This guy is an Earth Insect 4. He is 1900 attack and 1500 defense, which for Stardust Overdrive, early 5Ds, not terrible, but not the best either. Gene Warped Werewolf existed at this point. And Beetle says the standard effect, during each of your end phases, destroy this card unless you either send a Iron Core from your hand to the graveyard or reveal an insect in your deck. If a light or dark monster is special summoned in attack position, change it to defense position. So the reason why you've never seen Beetle, even in insect deck, is his pseudo floodgate effect is not that strong. Just, tipping your opponent's light or dark monster from attack to defense, you can literally just play Stumbling if you wanted to do that sort of effect.
Or just play that annoying rank 4 monster.
Yeah, no, there's all kinds of ways you could get around this. Like it's not a terrible guy, but it's the I don't think insect decks in 2009 were so hard up for guys.
No.
Like, you could literally just play Insect Knight as a 1900 normal.
As the resident bug player, no.
Yeah.
Like, there are some Koa'ki Meirus we'll talk about later that have been routinely good in their type archetypes. This is not one of them.
No,
I
it's
might
just
have
not
played this
strong enough.
in form of one of my Insector Ballpark decks.
Yeah, like, if you're playing sealed, like, he's a 1900 guy who maybe blows himself up, you know? Like, and I think he was... Okay, he was a super, so not the most rare in the world. That's the other thing I do want to say. A lot of these guys are very badly rarity inflated. If you were not deliberately pulling for them, you would not want to see these in packs. Our next guy, I think, is like a secret in Shining Darkness.
I
Yep.
think the only latest card I've ever seen pulled up for prices going up is, I think, Drago right now.
Drago sees some play because it wants you to name check dragons. But like I said, if you're playing pure Koa'ki Meiru, which is not recommended, but like is one of the ways you can build the deck, Beetle's probably not the worst because he has a 1900 attacker. That said, you don't have a lot of other insects in the deck, so I don't know if it'll work out. This is Koa'ki Meiru Bergzak.
Bergzak.
Yeah.
Bergzak.
Which is like Berserk, but...
He has a mask on and it just looks like he's almost... what's the horror slasher villain in one of the Halloween movies?
Kind of Jason, yeah.
Oh, Mike Myers.
Yeah, Mike Myers or Jason, almost.
It
does
reminds
give,
me
like,
of.
generic movie slasher.
It makes me think of this is a weird thing, but it makes me think of like certain J horror video games that like have like that try to basically do like Japanese versions of American slasher villains kind of mask.
Oh yeah,
where it's
no.
like-
If you've ever seen the original Final Fantasy VII, one of Vincent's Limit Breaks, Hellmasker, is
also
just,
that guy, yeah.
is just
That face.
like Jason Voorhees with the serial numbers filed off. He just has a plain white mask with glowing red eyes. Bergzak looks a lot like that. Yeah, he looks kind of like a trademark safe serial killer. There is a
I
little
will
bit
say
of
also
lore,
this
but
guy
it's
is
just...
fucking late. This guy's arms are like his limbs are so thick. Like his legs are like.
Oh no!
huge.
So it's really funny you mentioned that, Axe.
Yeah,
That's literally the lore note I was going to bring up. That's like this guy actually has a lore note, and they said that they put the iron core in his chest, and it caused his muscle and cardiovascular system to like get supercharged.
You know what?
They say he'll be good as a sentry.
This is gonna be a 1% reference. Omega, you'll get this. He looks like the Gendai mercenary dude from the original Clone Wars animation.
Yes, Dirge a little bit.
Yeah, Durg.
Oh, the guy they did the
I
jousting
know.
with.
Yes,
he's got a little bit of that build.
he has Gendai body where they're like,
Yeah,
what is your body type? Muscle.
I'm literally 100% muscle. If you're looking for a beater in your Koa'ki Meiru deck, Bergzak is probably better than the other way around, because this guy is a 4-star. I almost said 4K. That's incorrect. He is a 4-star warrior with 2K attack. I think he's also Earth. Sorry, I was tabbed over checking chat. Yeah, he's also Earth. But yeah, his 2,000 attack, 200 defense. You destroy him unless you send Iron Core from your hand to graveyard or reveal a warrior. If this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, it can attack once again in a row. The only thing I think that's bad about this guy is that he's a secret rare in, like, 2010. Honestly, you could probably make this work in a warrior aggro deck. A 2K double attacker.
I think if this card had not been a secret rare in, like, a not very good set.
Shining Darkness.
Yeah.
Which has...
That's the one after Dad, right?
Yeah.
Shining Darkness is a little after. Shining Darkness has Black Feather
Vernies and Black Queen.
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
okay.
This is later than I
Infinity
thought.
Blackwing era, so like...
Because there's
There's other
a
people
it's like,
worrying
it's
about.
called
What's
Shining
secret?
something That's after the dad set. That's like one of the worst Yu-Gi-Oh sets, like card wise ever.
Okay, for a secret rare from that set, Inferni Barrier is one of the secret rare cards in that set. So yeah, better card.
Because
I
the
wouldn't
set
describe
after the
this
dad
card as
set
released-
was like Light of Destruction, which has
It might have been
Honest on the
before.
cover.
It might have been
You're probably
before
thinking
that,
of the
but
one maybe
I can't
before,
remember.
because it's Phantom Darkness is I think the dad set that has.
Or no, it
Bell
might
on
have
the
been. It
front.
might have been the dad set, and then just every other card than dad is just awful. It might just be that.
No, I think
remember.
Phantom Darkness
It's
is
what
pretty
everyone
good.
has,
That's
like,
got
Dark
Ubel,
Nephthys, Dark Chaos.
Greffer. I mean, at the time may have been bad. It had shit like Rainbow Dark Dragon in it, but like,
Yeah.
Volcanic Counter, Cyber Valley, Dad,
Sorry.
Nephthys, Armageddon Knight. Like,
Regardless,
it was a very
my main
impactful set
point-
anyway.
My main
Yeah.
point is, I feel like if this card was released 2 years earlier, this could have actually been like a decent card.
Yeah,
Like,
and I
if you
will
put
say
this-
this is the classic problem of importing promos. This guy was a V-Jump promo in Japan in 2009, and literally took a year to come over to America, and they decided to make... They did something they don't do anymore, which is because V-Jump promos are almost universally trash. They're for literally for babies. They're almost always like commons or supers in modern sets.
I heard the feature
Some
they were
of,
fun,
some
but
of them are
different.
funny, but like they got to come up with like 12 of these a year, I think. So usually maybe like 2 or 3 are like meta impactful. Most of them are just kind of like, well, that's cool. And the TCG recognizes that they're not going to be chase cards.
Yeah, some of those cards is just like, why print this? I think the latest one is the dark one.
Yeah, there's a few weird ones. But like, so if this
But
guy
that
was like a
one-
super or a common, he would have been great for warrior decks probably. But as like a secret rare weird promo guy, he's not that good. Like, he's not awful if you're playing warriors, and I do believe there are a couple other Koa'ki Meiru warriors to pull from, but he's not that crazy.
Specifically Earth, I would say specifically Earth Warriors, because I do think if you're playing Dark Warriors, he does get a little, like...
So this has to be a guy that we have to have looked at this guy's card art as an example of just how fucking goofy they get.
Yeah, I think we have.
Definitely.
This one is... Oh,
Is it a boulder?
we're went
this
from...
This is
Velvet
Koa'ki Meiru
Crusader.
Crusader. He's another early one, Ancient Prophecy. Yeah.
Wait, we didn't do
Crusader,
Boulder?
can't you tell?
We didn't do Boulder?
We didn't do Boulder.
There's a Boulder? Oh, let me look
Yeah,
at
there's
Boulder.
Koa'ki Meiru Boulder, who's the precursor to the actual good Searcher card in Boulder.
I thought that's what you meant by bad art, because that card is awful.
Sorry, every
Because
time I-
Boulder was the
What's the
first
problem here? Oh,
wave.
it's mentions. I'm
and
clicking the wrong one. All right.
and he came-
Oh, yes, there he is.
Yeah.
No, I see him in the list now. I just did
Yeah,
not
I
grab it.
promise.
That is also another very... You're right. That's another very famous bad art we may have looked at. I feel like Boulder and
Yeah, that's
Crusader
what I thought you meant.
are guys that we... Yes, I did not add him to my list correctly. That's my bad. Let's talk about Boulder. I think both of these are the kind of art, though, that you see once and go, huh. Boulder Blown Up isn't that bad. Like, mostly I feel
I
like the
just
artist
think
was
he's-
doing some weird stuff with shading, but, like, he's not awful. It's just a
This
really weird
looks-
choice.
This looks like your standard minion enemy in any sort of random anime game.
Yes, no, this is
I agree.
definitely like...
Like-
this is a goon in an anime/Saturday morning cartoon.
You see this in the lava zone.
Yeah.
No
shooting
offense, but it is
Molten
just like
rock
it
in
is
the
a-
background.
it's a Digimon about like that's not really fun. It's a less fun Digimon.
Oh, there are definitely some Mook Digimon who look like this. Also, yeah, Chad asking a question. Are these
come
guys
on.
fueled by the Iron Core? Yes, no. The literally demon scientists from the demon world are putting the Iron Core in different stuff and going, hey, I wonder what happens. I think Boulder may be one of those cards. Let me actually double check the
What's it
list.
Oh, it's called Koa'ki Meiru Rock in Japanese.
Yeah, he's just called Rock in Japanese. I'll
They put
I'll
the
say
core
it
in a rock.
for long.
Bill's
Yeah.
Rocken von Koa'ki Meiru. Darn German.
Okay, no, I don't see it in the list. So no, this just got there. And this guy is weird because he has the mark on his head, but he's not actually literally powered by it. This guy is a level 4 Earth Rock, 1200 attack, 1000 defense. It's funny that a lot of these guys are level 4s. This isn't actually a rank 4 strategy, and I would say that would probably be also the way to like rejigger this deck, is to give them like a rank 4 that has just an effect that's just like during the end phase, if your Koa'ki, you may detach one material from this card instead of revealing Iron Core or something.
Yeah.
But this guy just says, when this card's destroyed by balance into the graveyard, add Iron Core or one level 4 or lower from your deck to your hand. In Ancient Prophecy in 09, not a terrible searcher. Because your monsters can blow themselves up, you definitely would probably want guys you could throw it as blockers. And there are, I think, like 3 total rocks, maybe more. There's several rocks in this deck, so having him as an activator is not bad. But this very quickly becomes a card that is, like, untenable, right? Like, what are you going to do? Ram it into your opponent's monsters to search? You know?
There.
I don't know what to tell you, man.
There are 7 rocks in this archetype.
There's a shitload of rocks.
3 of them are the. Actually, no. I think there's 4. There's the monster spell, trap negate. Then there's a summon negate.
Yeah, there's some nasty guys. So like, Boulder's not out of place, but he is an oddball one.
Yeah, it's like the little slow thing. Of course, it's like you might as well just play Sangan or Witch of the Black Forest to get some of your cards.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, and also saying like,
I
if
think
Magic did something like this, I think MTG has upkeep decks.
Oh, 100%.
Like,
Historical. I'm gonna
Well,
look
usually-
at them. Oh, God.
Yeah, MTG has an entire mechanic based on this. It's an old mechanic, so if you're under the age of like 40, you may not have played with it, because it's also a pretty bad mechanic called cumulative
Magic's not that
upkeep.
old.
Magic
Oh.
is exactly as old as me, Max.
Okay, so
I
Sangan,
100 actually know that.
ban, unban.
But it basically, you have to pay the upkeep, and it doubles every time.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
that
they
does sound
can't
like a
play.
bad one.
Oh yeah, they couldn't play Witch of the Black Forest at that time because it was banned. Meanwhile, Sangan was
Although
one
there-
before it got banned. Again.
There are good cards with that ability before people come at me, because yes, I
Hmm.
realize fucking.
Well, I'm sure some of them had to be strong, otherwise there's no point, right?
Well, no, because there's like a CDH staple card that has that ability on it, Mystic Remora.
This
But-
thing-
That's just because that card is busted.
yeah, I've seen Magic the Gathering play. Some of them are just like, oh, this is an infinite combo that just deals death.
People
Oh,
do
you have
infinites.
thousands of it. Dude, I'm building an infinite combo deck that is based off of the fucking uncommon Marvel superhero whose biggest claim to fame is accidentally blowing up an elementary school.
Yo, they
I've
did
got
that
a
guy?
question- Well,
Wait,
I got
Nitro?
a question.
Yes. No. Speedball.
Okay,
The guy
okay,
who pushed Nitro
okay.
into the school.
I
got a
don't get
question.
people blame people when it was Nitro's fucking fault, because Nitro literally blew people up.
Well, no.
I got
okay. Axe,
sorry.
you have to understand this. Axe. You understand this, and it all makes sense. During the events of Civil War, every Marvel character who was involved with it collectively had brain damage.
Oh,
That's just it.
I thought it was where the writers didn't talk to each other, and there was an agenda by editorial. They had to do this thing, and they make a reason for it.
hmm.
Well, yeah, but that means that every character
Yeah.
is stupid because they're forced to do it.
Yes.
Dallas, sorry, let me clarify for Axe and for everybody at home. Dallas is not being literal. You could expect them to be literal, that it was Marvel and there was like a dark ritual to summon the stupid demons so that anyone bathed in the light of the sun became stupid. No, that didn't literally happen in that event. I'm sure that has actually happened at some point in Marvel's history. But no, because editorial was being feisty and not the authors weren't talking to each other, effectively, everybody was dumb in Civil War. It was War on Terror. Everybody was a little goofy back then.
Well, technically
Anyway,
it was 2008.
it's still a War on Terror. Like, post 9/11 did a lot of damage to everybody. It just took
Yeah.
Marvel that long to try and come up with a plot about it.
Oh,
But,
this guy.
Yeah, I put Crusader back on. But to finish it up, I was just like, that's crazy to me, Dallas, that they made. Once again, talking about how the MTG Universes Beyond guys know ball.
Yeah.
Speedball. Anyway.
Actually, Dallas, can
Dude,
Speedball
there
turn
are
into
some-
penance? Actually, wait,
Not in
can
the
Speedball
main set.
can Speedball
We'll
turn
talk
into
about it
penance?
eventually. No, they didn't get. They
Didn't get
don't have
penance? Oh,
penance in
damn.
it. But
Damn.
speaking of the Marvel, there are some. Like in the main set, there are obviously some obscure heroes like Speedball and Hercules. But in the
Hercules is
sides they did, like the I think it's called like Jumpstart. The West Coast Avengers are in.
I mean, they had Squirrel.
Perfect
They had
slap
Squirrel on that team, so like, yeah.
Also, so to ratchet this back, because we will do the Marvel episode eventually. We'll figure that out. But to ratchet this back,
Her book sold a lot, man.
Koa'ki Meiru Crusader. This guy's also weird. Like, I think you see this guy once and you never, like, you can always conjure him up. This guy's weird as hell, because, like, I guess the idea is because the Iron Core is inside of him, it does just like it did with Bergzak and, like, makes him super enswollenated. But, like, this guy looks like he's from, like, an 80s, like, muscle manga imprint trying to do Dark Souls or something. Like, he looks like a Dark Souls mook that got, like, run through a JoJo filter.
No, you know what it looks like?
I think. Go ahead, Dallas.
Okay. That fucking cartoon that became like a meme about like Christopher Columbus, or you know what I'm talking about? Where they're like, I don't know if it was Columbus, but it was like an explorer where every character design is like a triangle with giant muscles for no reason.
I don't know about the Explorer one, but I can think of several
crazy?
cartoons like that. Yes, like I think there are some Russian cartoons like that who have this build.
Yeah, it was like a Dutch cartoon.
Oh.
So look at this guy, just like. I don't think many people would actually guess what type of monster this is.
No, and it's so weird. So,
but also,
Yeah, we can talk about that.
But also, this guy just feels like. I feel like this guy is actually all just skulls, all just bones, and the energy is swelling his armor.
Yeah, so that's the weird thing, right? You look at this guy and you might go, okay, this is a zombie or a warrior. No, Koa'ki Meiru Crusader is a beast warrior, and it's very important he's a beast warrior because that's his maintenance cost. He requires you to send an Iron Core or reveal a beast warrior. He's also Earth 4, 1900, pretty normal stats. Like, a lot of these guys are pretty big. His effect is, when you destroy an opponent's monster by battle, add a Koa'ki Meiru card from your graveyard to your hand. So, like, he, is another way you can recycle Iron Core. In a 1900 attacker, not terrible, but again, it's like, this guy's a beast warrior? Huh?
Yeah, just
he's a
made
beast
this
warrior
guy like
form, but, like,
This is definitely one.
or a zombie or fiend, really.
Yeah, this is definitely one of the more egregious, like, why is this card of this type Yu-Gi-Oh cards to make.
I feel like the idea is that, like, they wanted to make a bunch of different Koa'ki Meirus for, like, all the different types. Because that does, like, that could work, right? Like, the idea is you don't play Koa'ki Meiru together, you play them as, like, individual support in a bunch of different decks. You could design a deck that way. Unfortunately, they also have all this stuff about the actual Iron Core spell card as well, so, like, they're weird. But,
I think another thing...
Good.
I think a thing was also, this was, like, originally... I kind of got away from this eventually. This was originally proposed as, like, an anti... light and dark kind of archetype. Like, the opposite of light and dark. So they didn't want to use a lot of the creature types that were common in light and dark, because remember, this was before
Well, all right,
Warrior
Dallas.
was a
Okay,
dark
okay.
archetype.
Koa'ki Meiru Doom.
They gave up on this really fast, is what I was going to say.
I mean, this is Raging Battle in 09. Like, it's pretty early.
Honestly, this makes me think of, like,
Good.
if we got the Monster Hunter monster artist to make a Devilman.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, no,
This
that
guy-
tracks. Yeah. I think the only thing is this guy's got a small face. Other
Yeah,
than that,
small-
like, it's a pretty sick design.
It's like the
Honestly, you know, actually, some of the thing about the J-horror is like this also looks like a J-horror manga. Like this looks like a Devilman kind of thing. Like,
did they just insert the Koa'ki Meiru? Actually, no, wait. They insert it into the chest, but someone swallowed into his brain, so it stretched his head.
This guy was just, by the way, Koa'ki Meiru Debidu in the OCG, so he really is literally a Devilman.
And this guy is one of the offenders for an OTK.
Yeah. But so there's, as Dallas brought up, I think also you are correct. This was designed as an anti-meta because in the early 5Ds era, like, because even though the anime ends, right, like Yu-Gi-Oh doesn't cleanly shift from like one set to the next. So, like, there were still Light Sworns coming out, you know, you still had Dad decks, obviously Teledad, you know, enhanced Dark Armed Dragon decks. You still had leftovers from late GX carrying over into early 5Ds, so I could see them making this as kind of an anti-meta strategy. The problem is that it makes this deck super weird. So, Koa'ki Meiru Doom is a Wind Fiend. Wind Fiend. Fiend Wind.
There's like I think there's Aerial Eater.
Yeah, Air Eater's an old school guy, and they did remember him like 25 years later. But Wind Fiend's not very, very popular, and he doesn't look super windy, though he does have wings at least. He's a level 3 with 1700 attack and 800 defense, and his destroy condition is Reveal a Fiend. So, you know, you could play this in other Fiend decks. The problem is you wouldn't want to play this in any Fiend deck because his Floodgate effect is negate the effects of light and dark monsters that activate during the main phase. So, if you play this in a generic Fiend deck, all your guys are going to be Darks, probably. So, you're not going to do it.
This card was played, though. This card was actually played. Unfortunately, I believe this predates, like, the Imprisoning Mirrors by, like, a set.
Possibly.
Wait, what was it played in, then?
Just as an anti-meta side deck.
Oh, okay, so you just played it in...
Like, if you just have a way to summon a level 3 for free, you know, you just play him and then you negate the effects of all light and dark monsters. Yeah, in the main phase.
Yeah, like, to negate them, and then you do your own plays.
Yeah, it was played in non-light and dark decks to negate light and dark cards.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You for grabbing the lore for this guy. Yes, this guy was a lore. They just in the demon world, they just found a random demon and stuck a core in him.
Or
why?
Why wouldn't you? I
mean, just because they can. They're mad scientists.
They're testing every kind of creature how to react to it.
But yeah, so that guy's just an instant floodgate effect, as is our next guy. This guy probably doesn't need any introduction. I am certain that you have seen this guy in decks. Most famously, this guy was in Dragon Ruler decks back in the day. This is Koa'ki Meiru Drago. Honestly, pretty good design. He holds up pretty well. Like his wings look a little fucked up, but that's okay because he's a weird science experiment.
Okay, so they call it Dark.
What did they say? It's gone wrong.
Huh.
Yeah,
Drago.
Like, you know, it's doing this stuff. Now, we're going to look at spell cards later. This guy, as a baby, is definitely in the field spell. So, like, he used to just be a classic whittle guy, chat. He is no longer a whittle guy. But this...
Mad Scientist, Kazaki, and some random third scientist we can see. Yeah.
But yeah, this card is infamous. So this is a Wind Dragon for 1900 attack, so decently hard to get rid of. You destroy it unless you send Iron Core or reveal a dragon, which is, again, super popular. And then just neither player can special summon light or dark monsters. You just can't do it.
Yeah.
You're just forbidden. This guy has been in a gajillion decks over the years. Anytime you're playing dragons and like don't necessarily need to special summon light or darks, or can just like fetch this guy out after you've been summoning.
Yeah. I'm gonna be real. This card has made appearances in decks that do not have dragons involved in them, just for a turn of fuck your light and dark.
Yeah, no. If you can summon this like on your opponent's turn or like protect him for a turn, Yeah, he's just a great floodgate. There's a reason why this guy's
There's-
75 points in Genesis. Like,
Yeah, there's like an infinite and like probably infinite number of cards that can just special summon your opponent's turn, including monsters.
just
Yeah, no.
this guy's just a floodgate on legs. He's really annoying. This is one of the reasons why I think, Dallas, you are kind of correct that like
This
if we
archetype can
brought
just
back
be-
Koa'ki Meiru like properly, you would have to just like
Yeah.
be you'd have to ban some cards, or you'd have to make it so that like it
It didn't work with those cards specifically. Yeah.
like
Go
you'd
on.
have to make all the new Koa'ki Meirus like lights and darks, you know, so you'd be
or
locked
just
out of playing.
or just
the old
literally
support.
say summon any Koa'ki Meiru except Drago.
Yeah, or shit
Or
like
it just
that.
says only summon Neo Koa'ki Meiru.
Yeah.
That might work if you
I-
give him like a subtype. Oh, let me-
It's that, or they do the dumb thing and they just ban Drago, so it can't be used anymore.
I
and
mean,
it's
I
like,
think
oh,
you could also
we're
ban
gonna
Drago.
card-
The problem is that if you make Koa'ki Meiru too good, you have loads of these problems, like Doom, right?
Yeah.
You can't activate light and dark monsters in the main phase, you know, like you have so many of these. So it's not like you could give Koa'ki Meiru like a soul charge, right? Like you can't just give them support that summons like 5 of these guys out of your deck, because then it would be bad. You would not want to do that. You'd be so floodgated. Like, I don't even know if you could, like...
No.
I think there's a reason, I should say, why Konami just didn't do what they did for lots of very bad archetypes and just give them, like, a link to that says, you know, Koa'ki Meiru's this card points to can't be destroyed by card effect. Like, because that would be
Yeah.
so easy for you to, like, make a link to put a Drago in that point, or put a Doom in that point, and just stop. Anyway, this is
Yeah.
Gulungalit.
I love this guy. He's so
No,
Gonna
good-
get up.
Good good art design. The name is also very good because in the OCG he was just Koa'ki Meiru, Ghoul's slave. Ghoul's slave.
That's a lot less
Gulungalit. Gulungalit is fun.
Oh.
I like this.
No, it's
Yeah,
Oh my
German
God,
is the same.
it's better that it's gulungulate because it's a mix of like coagulated ghoul.
Yes,
Yeah.
actually, yeah. Gulungulate.
It makes you think of
Lots of-
Gnunganap, the Nordic Void.
Yeah.
You know what the saddest part of that is? I only know how to pronounce that because it's a fucking Fire Emblem weapon.
Huh.
Oh, Gnunganap.
Gamangaga.
This guy he has an unfortunate problem that he's a level 5, the first high level monster in Koa'ki Meiru we've talked about, which is obviously tricky.
Yeah.
But he is an Earth Zombie 5, and he's a 2,500 attack, 1,700 defense. He's for having the maintenance cost. He's bigger than Summon Skull technically because he has more defense. Destroy or reveal a zombie. If this guy was a 6, by the way, you might see play in like some weird shit. Because he also says, if a Koa'ki Meiru you control will be destroyed by a card effect, you can remove 1 Koa'ki Meiru from your graveyard instead. Removed from play, by the way,
Yeah.
no PCST. Not a terrible effect. It's just
the
that
problem
this guy
is
is made to be
zombie.
played in a pure Koa'ki Meiru deck, and it doesn't exist.
Well, and
Yeah.
also as a zombie, that stat line isn't good enough. Like zombies have so much better shit, especially early.
Yeah.
Like
think
Ryu
at the time
Koki.
we
Yeah,
had-
he's
Bear
a
from
5.
the
He's a
Dark.
1 tribute. Like 25 is pretty solid. It's just that like
But he's a,
the problem is his effect doesn't get you anywhere if you're
But
playing. a
also,
zombie
Omega,
deck.
he has too much defense. Unfortunately, you
True,
can't
he's not,
Pyramid
like,
Turtle
Pyramid
summon him like
Turtle,
Ryu
yeah.
Koki.
Pyramid Turtle is 2,000 defense.
Oh, actually, he is Pyramid Turtleable. So I guess if you ever needed 5s,
Yeah, I can easily see if I could easily see if some zombie deck became tier 0, they would like limit Pyramid Turtle.
Gulungulate's like another one that like this is a card that if we built, you know, the future Koa'ki Meiru, you know, the Neo, like I joked, the Shin Koa'ki Meiru deck around, it's perfectly fine. Like it's just if a Koa'ki Meiru
Super
you control
Koa'ki
be
Meiru.
destroyed by battle or card effect, you can banish a Koa'ki Meiru from your graveyard instead. That's a great way to like shore up the deck's weaknesses. The problem is, one, it's on a 5-star guy, and as you have seen, chat, none of these guys have the ability to special summon themselves or special summon each other.
Yeah.
And this is early 5Ds when a lot of these cards are coming out. So, like, special summoning to ramp is important. They don't have any tuners either, I don't think. So,
Yeah,
like,
they're
it's not a terrible guy. It's just that so far we haven't seen a lot of guys that like advantage you, and all you get out of it is a 25, a 2500 beater
yeah.
with its protection effect.
Yeah.
Like, here's another wild
That's
one. I
good.
swear to God, is this card feels like a good.
If it's the one you're thinking of, this card was a meta staple when it was
It's
out.
Gravirose.
Yes, no, this card was a meta staple.
I think
It
because it
wasn't
checks
a
plants,
plant
but
deck?
I feel like this card is
Yep.
is just they redrew a
Oh,
Black
I'll
Rose
talk
card.
about it.
Because this is a fire
Yeah.
plant. But
Wait,
basically,
did
this-
Gravirose here.
Was this just later Rose before it got Iron Core or whatever
Yeah,
the
yeah,
plant monster?
It's pretty normal. So this is a fire plant, level 4, 1900 attack, 1300 defense. You either got to send Iron Core or reveal plant. Plant synchro was, as I just joked about, literally a thing. During each of your standby phases, send a level 3 or lower monster from your deck to the graveyard.
Yeah.
Which is a
Oh,
thing that
yeah.
that doesn't do jack shit for Koa'ki Meiru, really. Like, there are a couple of synergies for plants.
But pitch,
Every standby
but
phase,
pitch glow
send
up,
Gub.
no. But pitch glow up, no.
Or Spore.
Send
wait,
Spore,
was
or
send
already-
Spore.
Dandelion
or
before it got
maybe
banned.
Wait, when was Spore banned?
Yeah, no. This card is
2010s,
bonkers
I
in
think.
plants.
No.
When Gub was still a thing, this eventually did get neutered by just the plant deck being like, we got to bring this under control. When Spore and Gub and all that got like
Well, and like
limited and banned.
obviously this
Before
card
that,
nowadays
this
is way
card
too
was-
slow because it's during your standby phase.
Oh yeah, nowadays.
But
it is.
like
But in the
in
heyday,
5D's
in
era.
2010, when Plant Synchro, this was before one turn was too fast.
Well, especially with all the
Okay.
plant support traps you could synergize with this, like, you know, plants had a mirror force, plants had like summoning denial. Like you could summon Gravirose, set some back row, and just be like, all right, come at me, bro.
Yeah, no, this
You
card
could
is
bin it to your
bonkers.
graveyard, summon it back. Like a foolish every standby for a level 3 or lower if you're playing plants. Very strong, very strong. Again,
This
doesn't
card, I would call
do
this card.
a lot for this deck. As a deck.
Fun fact: this card was the second most used Koa'ki Meiru in competitive
Oh.
play forever, except for the next card we're going to talk about.
Oh, that's funny. Spore was banned in 2012, and then it just came right on back.
Yup.
Sorry, I moved it too early. But yeah, this is a guy we've also probably talked about before, talking about rock decks. It's Koa'ki
I
Meiru
think
Guardian.
that was probably due to the errata.
Koa'ki Meiru Guardian does kind of look like they stuck the Iron Core in a giant soldier of stone, which is neat.
Egyptian ancient soldier of stone, at least like they used to think of like sand, like pure sandstone.
He is kind of sandstone, and that may be related also to
Very
the other
nice.
one of the other rocks in this deck, Sandman. But yeah, Guardian is a guy you've probably seen before. We talked about him earlier. I'll run it through real fast. First of all, he's an Earth Rock 4 with 1900 attack and 1200 defense. You destroy him unless you send Iron Core or reveal a rock. And then when a monster effect is activated, tribute and negate it and destroy that monster. That's it. That's all he does. He's just a monster negate that gets rid of himself.
The honorary Emancipator.
Yeah, this guy's an honorary Adamancipator.
AKA
Basically,
Rock Slop.
literally anytime a rock... yeah, it is Rock Slop.
I
So
don't
we
want to
get
hear the
this
word
guy-
rock.
I've
I
been,
don't want to hear the
I-
word rock slop because it's like it's not
Did I get it?
effortless. It's
No,
It
but
is.
unfortunately, it feels like it fits something else because I've been starting to get more into Jax the Gargoyle VTuber with her Bostonian accent. I can totally picture her saying "rock slop."
And I think that
I mean, I
was
guess she
also
can't. She is
what-
made of rocks.
Also, Magnet Warrior now uses this.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. You,
their-
Magnet Warrior. Like
because
anytime you're playing a
Emancipator.
rock deck, you can play Koa'ki Meiru Guardian. Like he's got like three points in Genesis for a reason. Like it's not a floodgate because it is a neutral +0 negate.
Yeah,
But if you're
He-
playing
Well, I think
rocks,
it's
he's
also
just a
just
free
'cause,
big
like,
boy to throw out there.
he's like that one.
The error, because
I think he's like that one dark monster that we had before this. the one that just says, I tribute if any monster effect
Yeah,
activates.
Doomcal Knight.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this card was played very generically in the early era when it was released, and
Yeah.
now it's pretty much only in rock decks.
And
Like, it was
you can
played
tell
with,
this
like,
guy.
Thunder King Ryo.
You can tell this guy is a card that saw play because unlike, say, I mentioned Gulungulate, who has not been reprinted, this guy was reprinted. I do want to say it's very interesting. Gravarose hasn't been reprinted. I feel like that's more to do with how strong it was at the time in like late 2009.
Gravarose is, if I may use a sports analogy, at the risk of setting everyone on fire.
What?
Not Marie on fire.
Gravarose is like a Michael Jordan type of bit, whereas the Guardian and Draco are like LeBron James, whereas they have long periods of success, where Michael Jordan is like the best thing going for like, he won 6 championships in 8 years and then just was done.
As one
Like,
does.
Very high peak, but very... Well, no. What? One doesn't do that. He's the greatest basketball... Well...
I know. I was having a jest.
But regardless, to use a sports analogy, higher peak, lower longevity. Like, Gravarose was useless by the end of Plant Synchro, and has never been that good since, because Plant just gets lots of support.
Whereas Guardian is a sleeper hit who has been like off and on good for literally years. Whenever nowadays,
Draco,
whenever a rock date comes back, you can
even
bring it up.
Doom, honestly.
Yeah. I don't know how good Doom has been because again that like negating your own light and dark effects, like the true benefits to these guys is when they are one-sided floodgates. But I'm not going to deny that I'm pretty sure because he is just negate all light and dark effects and activated in a main phase. Doom's seen some play as a weird counter guy. This is Koa'ki Meiru Hydro Barrier, by the way.
Doom and Draco both live in the side deck.
Yes, but also, depending on the state of things, Drago has seen play in the main deck and Dragon decks.
Well, that's because dragons are pushed as fuck.
I mean, true, but, like, it's one of those things, it's unfortunate because, like, I have a lot of feelings about Tenpai. We should do a Tenpai episode sometime so I can talk about him, because I don't know if Konami will ever fucking do more Tenpai support. Tenpai's a really interesting archetype because, like, that was super pushed, and it was relatively low rarity. Like, it was a great budget entry to make the battle phase matter, and it really did.
Yeah.
But it really did not have Dick all going first. So, like, if you were playing Tenpai, and I did do this in Master Duel, where I played Tenpai, you absolutely jammed some Drago's main deck, because if your opponent makes you go first, what the fuck do? You summon Drago and pray.
Well, there's some Dragon and Prey, but there's also just, what was it, some of the Link to Dragon theme?
There's a few, but Drago was one of the main deck techs. So, like, sometimes Drago makes it the main deck.
I can think of, like, Tenpai as just being the more successful version of that other battle archetype.
Yeah, basically. And I think there are other battle phase archetypes that have come out since that are, like, more fair. It's just so funny that, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Players go for literal years. Like, I think from about 2020 on until Tenpai came out, everybody went, the battle phase doesn't matter. OTKs are dead. You just use the battle phase to clean up after you've broken your opponent's board. Who cares about battle effects? And then Tenpai comes along and says, no, you will care about the battle phase. Your main phase, that doesn't matter for shit, brother. We're all doing everything in the battle phase. And Yu-Gi-Oh! Players did the thing they usually do, which is just like, oh my god, that's so annoying that you can't and then interact with them in main phase, and just refuse to build decks around the battle phase, and then they eventually, like, neutered it because it was really good. And like I said, I don't like, again, the, like, complete, the field spell literally says, your Tenpais are unaffected during the main phase. Like, yeah, that's really nasty to just be like, nah, your hand traps, whatever, don't care. But, like, at the same time, is that not what people were asking for? They were like, oh, you can't build a battle phase focused deck. You'll just get hand trapped, or you'll get negated. And it's like, what if I didn't? What if I built a deck that said if I activate the field spell...
I thought it was cool as fuck.
Yeah, it was cool.
you, Dallas.
Then they gave that effect to gimmick puppets.
That was not a good idea because of the way Gimmick Puppet works as a burn deck. That's
Look.
a little tricksy.
Look. I love Gimmick Puppet bullshit. It's so funny.
Honestly, the main problem that Gimmick Puppet has is that they pre-printed the archetype to have cards that say your opponent can't, or the owner of this card can't summon anything but Gimmick Puppets. And then because of the way their deck works, they want to give cards to your opponent. So you set up the dumb Gimmick Puppet lock on top of the FTK, and it's just that's nasty. That's just a problem with the way Yu-Gi-Oh works with donating cards to your opponent. It was a problem with Brandon.
Also,
with
to
Gimmick
be
Puppet.
fair, to be fair, that is definitely my Magic player brain. Speaking of OTKs have never bothered me. Ever.
Yeah, talk about OTKs and just floodgates. I'm glad that they did not give a quick effect to the Link 3 fire monster that can just summon fire monsters. Because that would have been annoying as heck.
Yeah.
That would have been
We've
hey,
had
I just have a
Hydro
barrier
on the
storage.
screen for 10 minutes and haven't talked about it. No, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. I'm just acknowledging this guy's been here for a while, and it's probably because there's not really anything to say about him.
Hey, there's that. Oh yeah, this guy.
He looks like a reject elemental hero.
We may have made that.
I feel like
before.
Well,
We got a
one
reject
he
elemental
has
hero,
a
but a reject
trident.
mermail.
He might be a reject Mirmel Atlantean. Also, might be one of those reject commies that have just a cloud for a body or something.
So this guy is one of your rare does not have a maintenance cost guy. It's probably why he's Hydro Barrier. He says, his OCG name, is Full Barrier for some reason. This is a level 3 Water Aqua with 1,000 attack and 1,900 defense, so you're clearly supposed to play him defensively. And he just says you can return an Iron Core from your hand to the top of your deck. If you do, the effect of all face-up effect monsters are negated until the standby phase of your next turn, except Koa'ki Meiru's. So he just freezes the field if you can put an Iron Core on top of your deck. That's not terrible, just this guy is like a weird level 3 Aqua. Again, so far, none of the monsters special summon themselves or special summon other Koa'ki Meiru's. Other than
if you could.
Crusader, did Crusader summon back or did it add back from graveyard a Koa'ki Meiru monster?
I think Crusader might have added back.
Yeah, there's not a lot of extra summoning going on here, chat.
Add back from the graveyard.
So this is not a terrible effect, a cost to just put your Iron Core on the top of your deck, and he doesn't have a maintenance cost. It's not awful. It's just the when are you gonna play this, right? When are you gonna play this and put this out there?
I would probably only play this if they somehow created a card that says, "Hey, declare the top card of your deck to be Iron Core. Draw another card on top of it." And then also have some sort of special thing to get this guy out. That's the only way.
Chat hidden. Apologies, chat. I wasn't showing
This is
you
one
the
of those
stream. I just
things.
realized now. I'm like, why was it hidden? I didn't update it, but
What? Oh, the chat?
That's
I
dog
forgot to have it
things.
shown. No, I need pop-out chat. Hello. There we go. It's my bad. I forgot to throw that in there.
This is somehow
Probably
an
explains why I've been. Yeah, I just don't know why I had it. What was I doing recently where I would have hid the chat box?
I mean, you didn't stream yesterday, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have been on my POV either. Was I? Oh, now I remember why I did it. I used OBS to capture video for I wanted to rush. That's why. There we go. Okay, now chat is in there. That's correct.
Okay,
so funny you say that, Ark, as we unhide. But yeah. Also, the other thing I think that's really weird about Hydro Barrier is that he's an Aqua and not a sea serpent or a fish. It's such a weird mesh. But let's talk about another guy you probably have actually seen some of, who also has a decent art style. Koa'ki Meiru Ice.
Ice!
Silver as cold as ice. Willing to sacrifice our love.
This is a guy
Yeah.
who's been played in water decks, not necessarily because you pay his maintenance cost. We mentioned this earlier. This guy's reveal a continuous spell, but just because he's an exiled force, basically.
Yeah.
It's a level
I
4
played it in my
water
bullshit.
aqua. Good.
I remember I played this one in Prague. I played this in my bullshit Haman Crystal Beast deck.
No,
yes,
you
he
could
did.
find decks to tuck this in, but like the way Ice works is he's a level 4 aqua, 1900 attack, 1200 defense, and he says, you pay the reveal. You can just send a card from your hand to the graveyard to destroy one special summon monster on the field.
Yeah.
He hasn't been reprinted in
Think
a
that-
long ass time, so I don't know if that's
Think there's
pre-PCST,
a
but I think
bed-
it isn't. Let me check rulings.
Yeah, I think there's like. Trying to remember. I think there's a better one that does things. Yeah.
Yeah,
Alright,
there's a
big
few
hat
that do
man.
things, but I don't think
Get
this
outta here.
targets.
Yeah.
Leave
Mr.
Mr.
this-
Big Hat.
Also, this guy looks like he belongs to that Ice series of cards, like Ice Princess and all that.
Yeah.
Well, that's
the
a
Blizzard
good one, Chad,
Dragon
saying, is there an
stuff.
aqua because it's the water barrier? Maybe. But yeah,
Yeah.
Ice is a card that, like I said, you could play him in some weird combos, some weird decks, but he like just for like summon him, discard a card, blow up a special summon monster. Like in 2009, that was good enough for a Yu-Gi-Oh card, you know?
Yep.
So that was one. Now,
Yu-Gi-Oh! Power Creep is
yeah.
nuts.
Oh, it
But-
can also be put in Aqua Actress. Why?
Let us talk about these guys did have a big old boss monster. This motherfucker
This
is a
one-
UR in Master Duel. I can't believe they've done this.
Why does this look like the
They're
bastard child
bunch
of Blue
of
Eyes?
There's an entire pack that's just Koa'ki Meiru's.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that makes sense that they need ultras. It's just so funny that this big asshole is it. This is Maximus. He was just Maximum in the OCG. This is a big, fucked up robot dragon guy. Does kind of look like an evil Blue Eyes. Looks like a few other things. Looks like a prototype Gradle.
His head looked like a
Wait.
worm.
Wait, no, this looks like the prototype to Malefic Blue Eyes.
He never looks malefic. This is a Wind Dragon 8 with 3,000 attack and 2,500 defense, so he does literally have Blue Eye stats. Cannot be normal summoned or set. Can only be special summoned by removing from play one Iron Core of Koa'ki Meiru from your hand. During each of your end phases, destroy this card unless you send a Koa'ki Meiru Iron Core or a monster from your hand. Koa'ki Meiru monster, sorry. From your hand to your graveyard. And once per turn, you can select and destroy one card your opponent controls. Again, no PCST, but it does target. Like, honestly, so for, like, 2009 Stardust Overdrive, like, not a terrible main deck boss. You get to special summon it by banishing an Iron Core. You do have to send an Iron Core or a Koa'ki Meiru monster or it destroys itself, but it is a big 3k guy, and he does, like, have a once per turn pop.
Does sense. Yeah, which is good if you want to get rid of the back row.
Yeah, just any card. Like,
I think this
not
boss
terrible.
monster This boss monster isn't horrible. It's just the archetype it's in is.
But I don't
Yeah,
think I don't think you would ever want to banish your cores.
no, I think there are some of the spell traps they added later that fix that, but yeah, it's not great. Like, I think you'd probably be playing shit like Burial from the Different Dimension, or Return to the Graveyard to like cycle them back if you did. Not a lot of banished recovery so far in this. Like, again, he's not terrible. He's bigger than he has more attack power than a Stardust Dragon, but it's definitely like a heavy upkeep cost for a guy that's just Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Yeah.
Again, if like this was built around Ghoul Ungulate or the other guy, like this guy Maximus, you could make it work. The problem is that there's a lot of floodgates in this. So we're going to talk about a guy who is from, of all things, Secrets of Eternity. This guy is Koa'ki Meiru Overload. Koa'ki Meiru Overdose in the OCG. And this is another one of those guys that I saw, and I was like, I've literally never seen this card before in my life.
Yeah. Just like, why do I even start with this guy? This guy looks like he's supposed to be like Pyro.
It's not the worst Koa'ki Meiru design, but it's definitely not the best.
Why does he feel like he could be an honorary volcanic monster?
Yeah, he's stone, but he's like heating up to become lava, but like the lava is bright yellow like he's amber? I guess that's the iron core glow, but it's weird. Like, is he becoming crystal or what? My main problem I have is, like, honestly, some ideas of this design are sick. They're just a little overdone. But also there are problems. His proportions vis-a-vis the pose are real fucked up, and he has stick figure legs is the only way I can say it. His lower half is, like, almost featureless. Like, I guess that spike is one of his knees, but I can't tell anything else about his lower body other than that it's made of rockhead stuff. Like, he's
that's
very weird.
Okay, so the core that he has is the diamond core, not the iron core.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, I can see that in there. Yeah.
I just was looking at that. That did not quite look like the iron core.
This is another guy who I have seen. I'm surprised I haven't seen more, but I suspect
exactly
that
why.
Marth mentioned him. It's another Earth Rock, level 4, 1900 attack, 1200 defense. You either send the Iron Core, you reveal a rock monster. When your opponent would summon a monster, you contribute him to negate the summon and destroy that monster. He's just Solemn Warning.
Yeah. Just like, hey, you pendulum summon? No.
He is technically better than Thunder King Ryo, but he's also not better enough that you would play him over Thunder King.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you would play Thunder King in a rock deck, is what I'm saying. Like,
that's true.
But certainly
you would play
can play Thunder King
Ryo
in a deck.
And Blitzkrieg. And
Yeah.
Blitzkrieg. Yeah, not
the
Krieg.
new guys. But yeah, like I'm kind of surprised I didn't see more of this guy during Adamancipator, but I guess you don't even bother with the Solemn in that case. But
I think it's just like you have your spell and trap negate and you have your monster negate. That's all you really need in Emancipator. Plus block dragon just to say no, you can't destroy.
Yeah, it's true. You could just block dragon. So like again, design wise, giving you kind of a neutral +0 who has synergy because you have a couple of different rocks. You know, there's some likelihood you'll find some rocks. It's not terrible. It's just that again, the deck is really weird on its own. Next, a guy that I'm pretty sure some of you have seen before. This is another like weirderton. Power Hand.
This is Drillman's younger brother.
Man, he does look like a Mega Man boss. Power Hando is a level 4 Earth Machine with 2100 attack and 1600 defense.
I like how it looks.
No, it's a good look. There's not a lot to add. He looks good. Like, even if he does look like a Mega Man boss, that's okay. I play Battle Network.
Hit like the
Drill Soul.
I was gonna say hit the Midlife Crisis alarm song, aka the Tekken Top theme song.
Yeah. Do the impossible. I think the reason why you probably haven't seen this guy more is because his effects are way more weird. So instead of reveal a machine, like even back then, Konami realized that was way too easy. You gotta reveal a normal trap from your hand, which is like arguably pretty bad because if you have a normal trap that was good, you'd probably have said it. And if you have a normal trap that's not good, what the fuck is it doing in your hand?
Yeah.
This
is card so janky, I couldn't... Like, why couldn't it have been continuous trap? Then I could have put in my Uriah deck.
Also, there are several continuous traps in this deck. funnily
Wait,
enough.
is there?
There are some normal traps too, but like I said, I think you'd want to set up. His
One
actual
minute
effect is if it
phase.
battles a light or dark, that monster's effects on the field are negated during the battle phase while he remains face up on the field. Could also use some PCST, but not Catastor. Armades. Armades he is not, right? Like, it's just a weird case where he negates the effects of light and darks if he battles, but only if he remains on the field, so you can't, like, crash, and they're only negated during the battle phase, so he's kind of bad. You might still, if you were hypothetically playing a Koa'ki Meiru deck, you might still play him because he is a level 4 2100, right? Like, we've kind of got the idea behind how to do some of these stat lines, but his actual effect is just, like, not great. You know, it's just like, once during a blue moon, negate a light or dark monster. I mentioned this guy earlier, but this is Koa'ki Meiru Prototype. In the OCG, he was called Koa'ki Meiru Testbed. He's just a little guy.
His verge is.
Once again, by the way, you might think this is like legacy support. No, this came out Shredding Darkness.
Yeah.
But it's just a weird little robot creature they've stuck the Iron Core in, clearly. This is a level 4 Earth Rock, again, 1818, so kind of all-rounded stats. If a face-up Koa'ki Meiru on the field be destroyed during the end phase, you can destroy this card instead. When a face-up Koa'ki Meiru is destroyed during the end phase, you can special summon a Koa'ki Meiru token, which just replaces him with an 1818. This is a decent attempt to, like, do late-stage support, where it's like, this guy is an alternative who... he literally acts like the Iron Core and blows himself up instead of an opponent's monster. Or you can blow up, you can choose to let them blow up, and gives you a token which has the same stats. That's not terrible. The main thing is just, again, this deck doesn't have a lot of special summoning so far. And because it's so heavy on revealing monsters like rocks, you know, or some of your other archetypes you have in Archetype, I don't know if you would want to be playing a lot of your archetypal spell traps. He's a very odd one.
Yeah.
Sorry, I looked at what type this guy is, and I'm fucking flummoxed. I feel like we've talked about this guy as an example of types that are bad. This is Koa'ki Meiru Rooklord.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Lord.
Also, you are in Master
Yes.
Duel.
Because he's a level 7. As a weird mecha enemy design, you know, as like a one-off guy in Armored Core, this guy's great. Problem. This guy's a warrior. This is a warrior monster. This is not a machine. This is a warrior. That's a man inside
There
that
are
suit.
there are better higher level warrior monsters than this.
Well, true, but I'm just saying it's in the Koa'ki Meiru pack. It's another high level guy. Yeah, no. Anyway, this is a level 7 Earth Warrior, 2800 attack, 2200 defense. Destroy him unless you send an Iron Core or reveal a warrior. So you know you have a couple of other warriors in this deck. I'm pretty sure they were explicitly dodging making these guys synchronize with machines, probably because Machina was also a good deck around now.
This guy.
But you can tribute summon Rooklord by tributing one Koa'ki Meiru monster. That's not terrible for a 7. When this card is normal summoned, remove from play, so banish a Koa'ki Meiru from your graveyard to destroy up to 2 cards your opponent controls. Again, non-targeting. This is also an okay main deck boss monster for the time. He is a 1 tribute if you're playing Koa'ki Meirus. He is 2800 attack, and on summon, you can banish the guy you just tributed to summon him to pop 2 non-targeting. That's, again, not terrible. The main problem is just getting your other guys, like, on the board to make this work.
Plus has the one effect.
Also, yes, Rooklord's trivia is just how many freaking symbols he has on him. He has so many
Yeah.
symbols.
Also appears in Core Overclock, but yeah. A lot of blockies do that.
Like, it's not a terrible card. It's just you would need to really accelerate this deck to make it worthwhile. Anyway, this is another guy who you may have seen in some brews. He's not as popular these days because he relates to trap effects, but this is Koa'ki Meiru Sandman. In the lore, this is one of the guys
Sandman.
explicitly called out. They just made a doll out of sand and put a core in it, and it turned into a guy.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah. Along with Power Hand is the other one, I think. Oh, and the bottle describes an adult made of sand.
So this be another one that you've probably seen a few times, because he's another Earth Rock. He's another rock, level 4, 1900. Destroy him unless you reveal a rock. So there's a lot of rock sub-theme here. When your opponent activates a trap card, quick effect, you can tribute this, negate, and destroy that card on a 1900 body. It's okay. Seems like a side deck choice over some other cards, but if your opponent's playing traps, he has counterplay and is a 1900 guy. It's okay. It's merely all right.
Sandman.
Which is kind of a shame, because I think Sandman actually has a pretty good design.
Oh, I'm looking at this. Oh, and back in 2024, Master Duel was used in Emancipator Super Heavy Revolution Synchron deck.
Yeah, I think he'd be another guy you'd put in some Emancipator brews.
Yeah,
Like I
I
said,
think
he's a
it's
pretty
pretty
alright
much
guy.
all man. Yep.
Pause to see if anybody else wants to comment on Sandman.
Oh,
They don't.
but
I think it's cool.
I think all the ones that were used were in certain festivals where other cards were hit.
Makes sense. If you have nothing to add about Sandman, let's then talk about Koa'ki Meiru Sea Panther.
Sea Panther. He's pointing at the camera and just like, yeah, I got. He's trying to do the aura Riz thing by pointing at the camera. Actually, no, he's pointing down.
You.
It's like, you're going down tonight.
There's something wrong with this guy's bones. Why?
Oh, yeah.
Why are his legs bent so far back, but his torso is standing bolt upright?
Why does he just have noodle bones?
Yeah. No, I don't like him. I don't like looking at this guy blown up. This is not a great guy.
I feel like
Not a huge fan either.
this is one of those ones that they should have probably never have done their experiment on.
Yeah, I think they broke him.
Yeah, no. Oh, I stuck it in his tummy, which is probably not good for him. I'll just speedball what this guy does. Water, Sea Serpent. This guy's a Sea Serpent. Level 4, 1900 attack, 1200 defense. Pretty normal stats. Destroy it unless you send an Iron Core or reveal a water monster. Because they couldn't say Sea Serpent, they had to say water. This guy would be good, except that his effect is, once per turn, you can send an Iron Core from your hand to the graveyard to return one spell card from your graveyard to your top of your deck. That's bad.
I gotta hit.
All right, goodbye, Dallas. Thank you for joining us. We are most of the way through the monsters. Yeah, we're in the back half. There's only like 6, 7-ish
Yeah,
left.
I can see why this is
Chad,
bad. It's just like,
What you do it, Chad?
yeah.
But yeah, no. Again, hypothetically, this works in a Iron Core deck. You do have other waters like Hydro Barrier and stuff to look at, but it just puts another spell card on the top of your deck, and you have to send an Iron Core, which means that you'd add the Iron Core back in your draw phase anyway and not draw. It's weird.
Yeah, I just feel like this guy is just like, oh, well, I don't have anything else to do. I bricked, this is the only card in hand. I'm sending Iron Core to the graveyard so I can just put it to the top of the deck.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a really weird one. Like Dallas talked earlier that this deck kind of feels like an anti-meta deck, and I think I agree. Like, this is a deck that's supposed to like have interesting interactions. If your opponent's playing lights or darks, interact with your opponent's, traps, monster effects, etc. in interesting ways. The problem is that the cards that facilitate the rest of the cards are not super good, at least in monsters. I think they have some spell traps that are okay. It's just that those are harder to search. Like I said, this deck, if they were to refurbish it, really could use effects that do that thing we talk about where they check cards that mention Iron Core of Koa'ki Meiru.
Yeah.
Like that brings some cards together.
As the Sarcophagus of Light deck, where it's like, honestly, like that deck idea, like the card idea is like has
Ritual of Light and Darkness.
I think that a lot of being
is
like
another one
things
that's
that
really
mention
good.
this card
Yeah.
are just
Yeah,
kind
I
of
think
game
they would
changer
have to have like, just entirely new sub archetype of them that just says, hey, if the core is in the graveyard, we just automatically add to hand. If it's in banishment, add to hand. If it's banished face down, add it to hand.
So this is Koa'ki Meiru Speeder. This feels like another guy we've mentioned at some point randomly. He's a weird guy.
This guy.
This guy is a wind machine whose name is Koa'ki Meiru Speed. So he's almost a speed, right?
I think I only added this guy as a wall.
He's a really weird. I mean, he was a rare, so he was easy to get. But like art design wise, Speeder's not terrible. You know, they've clearly like built the Iron Core into a flying robot. That's all right. He's even like flying over sand.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Actually, can kind of see why Rippler's effect was done, because this guy can then do the twofer.
Yeah. So, Speeder is a Wind Machine 3, 1200 attack, but 2200 defense on a 3. Pretty solid. During your end phase, you destroy him unless you send an Iron Core from your hand or reveal a machine type. Finally, we have a machine that reveals machines. Also, I want to say that we didn't really mention it, but I think that's another thing that this strategy is really like designed around. They probably should have had more defensive guys like Speeder, because then you could set them and let your opponent run into them, because they can't activate their effects to reveal in the end phase if they're not face up. But Speeder just says if you draw Iron Core during your draw phase, reveal it to your opponent, draw one more card. Like, he just turns the case where you do stuff like Sea Panther or other cases where it's stacked to the top of your deck into a double draw. It's okay. He's got a decent booty, but it's
the only usage cases for this guy is because a lot of the time when you have to use your Iron Core for classes, you have to keep adding it, which means you are not drawing anything else that you want to use.
Yeah. Like, it's
So
designed to like
that's the whole
replace
thing
some
there.
of those effects. I would also say this would probably be better
If this guy was...
Good.
If this guy had another effect that just says, hey, unbreak my hand, unbreak my top of my deck, that would be much better.
Yeah. I also want to say, I think part of his problem is that they were so shy about doing machines, so, like, I genuinely don't know if there are any other machines besides this guy and what's his face, Power Hand, who, like, would you want to keep Power Hand in your hand? I don't know. You know, it's tough, especially when we look at this next guy. This next guy is Koa'ki Meiru Supplier. This is a rock. Don't be fooled. This is a rock, chat.
Oh, you see, he
But you
has
don't understand.
bricks there for rock.
It's made of stone and then all the Koa'ki Meiru metal, so it's like they made it.
Yeah.
It's a giant brick. It's a brick golem. They put Koa'ki Meiru cores in, and they put a lot more things inside of.
Yeah.
It's like it used to be a pile of rocks, but now it's now it's like a golem a cyborg or a cyber golem.
Yeah. So this is, I think, like the token, like legacy support. This guy is from Rise of the Duelist in 2020. Like, this is their token. Try to throw at him. This is why I said that I was still pretty sure this deck hadn't gotten support in at least 5 years, because that was, again, 2020. They reprinted him again in, like, Crystal Revenge for some reason. This guy isn't, like, really a Koa'ki Meiru support card as such. He is just a... Konami clearly realized with Adamanticators that, like, they were pushing rock decks, right? So they realized that people might want to play shit like Guardian, Overload, Sandman. This guy is literally just to help out the rock decks. This is an Earth Rock 4 with 1400 attack and 1600 defense, and says, if a face-up rock monster you control is sent to the graveyard, except during the damage step, you can special summon him from your hand. He's the first Koa'ki Meiru I think we've seen with a... No, that's not true. Maximus is a... can't be normal, Nomi, can't be normal summoned or set, but is, like, has an inherent special. But this guy actually has a special summoning effect.
Yeah.
If he's special summoned, add from your deck to your hand one Iron Core of Koa'ki Meiru or a card that mentions it except Supplier. already has the mentions built in.
Yeah.
You only use each effect once per turn.
I think it's alright.
So like,
Right, it's just. Oh yeah, it has to be you control sent to the graveyard, so it can't be from deck.
No, it has to be from your field. But if you're synchro summoning with Adamantimators, if you're, link summoning or anything, you tribute for some stuff. He's pretty easy to set up. The main thing is that stops this from being a good Koa'ki Meiru card is, again, that if this is special summoned, add an Iron Core or a card that mentions it, except Supplier. If that was just summoned, this might have, made Koa'ki Meiru more of a deck, period. The problem is, again, that on its own, you don't have a lot of special summoning in Koa'ki Meiru. And
yeah, if they,
you have to get rid of your rocks to summon it.
Yeah, I think they need to add another thing. If you're a face-up rock or Koa'ki Meiru monster, you control sent to the graveyard.
No, I think that would have been good. But again, I'm reasonably certain this wasn't actually printed to support Koa'ki Meiru, though they included the Iron Core thing anyway. This is clearly so you can search Guardian and Sandman and Overdose. Or Overload.
Yeah, this is just your branch card into those Koa'ki Meiru cards that you want control of.
Yeah, like it's for rock decks. I got another wild one talking about different types. That said, this guy it's so funny that this guy has a different type, but is not a big deal. This is Koa'ki Meiru Tornado.
Oh.
Once again, chat, I will spoil it for you. This is a winged beast.
Another calming sort of monster. It looks like a fiend.
No, this guy is the one of the Oris Pokemon type guys. This guy, he's a
Tornadus.
Fujin, yes, literally the Pokemon Tornadus. He is Fujin, but there is no Raijin in this archetype. They also never gave them a Thunder. And I want to remind everybody that this isn't like a weird Japanese thing. In Japanese, winged beast is choju, literally bird beast. So it's even weirder that they were just fuck it, he's a winged beast.
What is this one called? Oh.
Anyway, this guy's really weird. So I think he's got a good effect for Koa'ki Meiru. It's just funny. Level 4 Windwing Beast, 1500 attack, 1200 defense. You can return an Iron Core of Koa'ki Meiru from your hand to the top of the deck. Destroy all special summon monsters your opponent controls. Just punish your opponent for special summoning, blow them all up. It could be...
Yeah, I was...
Could be better, could be worse, but it's it's okay. I like it better than the Floodgate effects.
I was looking up the French name for this guy. They call him Jin de Tornade and Koa'ki Meiru. So some Jin of the Tornado, I think.
When did this guy come out? Okay, this was also a 2010 guy who I feel like I've never seen before in my life,
French.
but is an ultra rare Master Duel for some reason. This is Koa'ki Meiru Urnite.
Urnite. I think it was an Ultra and the pack that it came from, too.
He is, yeah, damn. In Absolute Power Force. He's talking about, right, like discount, Dark Souls or Elden Ring enemies. This guy is kind of that, but, he's not bad.
Oh, yeah. He's not bad. He has that... armor is good. Oh! How did I never know that he was a centaur?
Probably just through the size of the card. But yeah, I know he's a centaur.
I've never looked at it before. Wait, is that? He also has a very weird blade. Just you want to?
A little weird, but it's
every part is sharp.
Like I said, it's a little weird, but it's it could be worse. He could be a worse design. I think just the funny thing is that this guy is a Beast Warrior, and he's clearly a Beast Warrior. He has level 4. He has 2k attack, 1500 defense, which is all right. You destroy him unless you reveal send an Iron Core or reveal a Beast Warrior. So again, a little risky because Crusader's okay, but that means you got to be playing some number of these. But also says We finally found it. We found the good Koa'ki Meiru card. Once per turn, you can reveal an Iron Core in your hand, special summon 1 level 4 or lower Koa'ki Meiru from your deck except Urnite. There it is, chat. We finally found it. This is probably the only one of the guys we've actually talked about who deserves to be an ultra rare. This is like the card that makes the deck go. But the problem is that he's like one of 2 Beast Warriors in your deck.
I gotta go.
So, all right, Max. You made it through almost all the monsters.
Ooh.
Yeah, we're in U. So, like, again, this is a good card. The problem is that, as we've mentioned before, right? If this guy was too easy to play, with his reveal effect, which is why I wouldn't want to make a card that like maybe is too easy to replace Iron Core. But
yeah.
That means you can just summon Drago. You can just summon Doom. Like, all the annoying Floodgate guys can just be summoned out of your deck. Now, you still need to... Actually, I should say. And it's not a problem because you have to reveal Iron Core to do it in the first place, so you have an Iron Core to reveal during the end... to send during the end phase. Now, I do believe that the way Koa'ki Meiru works is, because they're all separate triggers, you might... Like, you have to keep sending or keep paying the cost, or they blow up.
Yeah.
So, like, it's tricky.
Yeah.
But later you can always play Diamond.
Each one is a separate trigger.
So,
and
like,
so
that's risky to play so many. Because you gotta send
so
Iron
the
Cores.
separate trigger... So you would have to be, like... Yeah, you would definitely have to just be like, I have to keep revealing cards.
Yeah, so, like, it's not the most optimal, but it does let you cheat out all of your, like, annoying Floodgate guys, and then you could just let Urnite die once he's done his job, you know? Still, like, the closest we've come to a really decent card in the deck, it's just that because of the way his effect is phrased, like, you really would need a better engine around the Iron Core itself to make Koa'ki Meiru a decent deck type.
Yeah. Actually, I'm quite glad that they did not give a quick effect special summon from deck for Koa'ki Meiru.
No, that would be probably a bridge too far. And like, I don't know how, but I feel like Konami did somehow realize the potential of this deck to be a pain in the ass. Like I said, out of all the, well, I guess technically they don't have an extra deck at all. That's also kind of part of their counter meta strategy. But like, during the legion of broken Link 2s that Konami released during the Vrains era, I'm so glad they did not just print Koa'ki Meiru Halkify racks, basically, right? Like, you know, they so could have done an annoying-ass Link 2 that would let you summon all these floodgates that would have to be banned, and they just didn't, thank God. This is a guy I feel like you've definitely mentioned before, by the way.
But they did not give them that Gen X like Link.
Oh
just
yeah,
for
the Gen
them.
X controller Link one, who's crazy. Just every
Just
time
like,
you.
hey, I normal summon. I add another card to hand.
Yeah. Hey, yo, dog. I heard you like normal summoning, so we put it so that whenever you normal summon again. Add more Gen X. It's crazy.
Because
this
each
is
one
Valifar.
adds.
I think this is just Doom, but big. Like, this is just Doom on more crack, I think.
Valifar looks like he's ready to just throw down.
Yeah. This guy is a fire fiend, at least, so, like, the fact that he's literally melting down, I think, works pretty well for him. But yeah, he's a bit of an oddball, but this is another one of the big boys. Funnily enough, this one is a rare in Master Duel, so that probably says what you need to know. He's a level 8 fiend, 3k attack, 2100 defense. Destroy him unless you send an Iron Core from your hand to graveyard. You can only keep Valifar alive that way. That's probably why he's a rare. He has no sub theme. Can't even reveal a fiend. You can tribute summoning him by tributing one Koa'ki Meiru like Rooklord. It can't be destroyed by trap effects, and then he does piercing damage. He could use some PCST, but yeah, this is, I think, one of their first main deck boss monsters. Yeah, he's in a Raging Battle. So, like, pretty early, and he's the worst we've seen so far. I think the main thing is just that he has no alt con. Like, he doesn't even say reveal a fiend or reveal a fire, right? It's just like, no, you have to send Iron Core.
Yeah, Like, I think there's like 2 high power ones that are just like, no, you just have to send.
So, like, again, Valifar's, like, an okay in concept, but even for back then in 09, probably not strong enough to do. Like,
Oh,
I
yeah,
think
the-
Maximus is better.
Okay.
I think even Power Hand is better. Alright, and guess what, chat? It's another fucking rock with 1900 attack and 1200 defense.
I
It's
wonder which
Koa'ki
one this
Meiru.
one is.
Wall. He's literally a wall. This is the fucking,
Yes.
this is Blockhead from Okami.
Oh,
Hey, chat,
Yeah.
by the way, Lucky and I streamed
This
Okami,
is
all of
what-
it. Go please watch that.
Blockhead guy. Also, it looks like one of those just like blocker enemies that get in your way on a platform. It's like, oh, you're going this way, I'm moving that way. Also, he has a chain, so he came from a dungeon.
Yeah. I think the most thing that's interesting about him is that he's full of bullet holes, and that's not censored. Like, they just left him full of clearly bullet holes.
Yeah, there's that. It's like, the scientist is like, how durable this guy is. Let's use our demon machine gun.
But yeah, this guy completes the Trinity. Technically the quadruple because of overload, but the original Trinity, like I said, he's a rock with 1900 attack and 1200 defense. You got to either reveal a rock or send Iron Core, and then when your opponent activates a spell card, you contribute this card, negate, and destroy. This is why Supplier exists, because for some reason they made like 3 and then a 4th of these rock guys who tribute themselves to negate X effect. So they just made a guy who like cycles and searches them. Again, they're all decent cards if you're playing a rock deck, but in the Koa'ki Meiru deck itself, they're a little tricky to pull off. But you got enough rocks that you might make it work as like a sub theme.
Yeah, just looking at this guy, I just really want to know what this guy was trying to like chain up before when he was a wall.
Yeah, I don't know. And I think this is our last monster, unless I missed anybody in the list.
I don't.
This is a
Yeah, there's
W.
25. I'm
This
looking
is
through.
Koa'ki Meiru War Arms. He looks like a rejected gladiator beast, which is really funny because, once again, chat, this is a fucking warrior. Not even a beast warrior for Urnite. This is a warrior.
Well, you know how the Iron Core works. It changes your eye anatomy into weird stuff.
Ah, yes. This was a human man until they stuck the iron core in his shoulder, and then he turned into a bear man.
This was clearly Marauder Captain.
Damn.
Wait, Marauder Captain was level 3. That couldn't work.
War Arms is a level 4 Earth Warrior with 1400 attack. Destroy him unless you send Iron Core or reveal a Warrior-type monster in your hand. So, like, it has synergy for your other Warrior-type monsters, but, like, you couldn't make him a Beast Warrior for that. Anyway, once per turn, you can target a level 3 or lower Warrior in your graveyard. Equip that target to this card. This card gains attack equal to combined attack of monsters equipped. If it would be destroy battle, destroy all monsters equipped to it by this effect instead. So, like, he does protect himself from the reveal effect by that equip. And, like, he's clearly supposed to be, like, for level 4 warrior decks. It's just this has, like, 0 synergy in Koa'ki Meiru, other than that there are a couple of warriors. But I think they're all level 4s, so it doesn't even matter. So
like this.
this is such a weird card to include.
I feel like this guy was outclassed by even the dark cyber style.
Yeah, no, like this guy is such a nothing burger card. All right, chat, in one momento, we shall do the spell traps. But I am going to throw up my away screen, which looks, if you're new here, and I see some new faces in chat, but if you've never seen it before, it looks like this. Which, yes, this is Fish Sonar, but it's got the Final Fantasy XIV font on it, so this has gone fishing. I will mute up in Discord, and I will be right back. I have to take a bio break. But then we'll do spell traps. Okay, I remove gone fishing. We're back.
Yay!
Everybody tab back in. They put this guy. I mean, I guess Battle Pack 3 was the battle pack where they said types don't matter, so it works best. But like,
Just apparently one of the cover cards for it.
such a
wait.
weird guy.
Wait, what cover cards did they use for it? Okay, they use a lot of them. They use Sandman. They use War Arms. Use some
I mean,
random
Koa'ki
ass
Meiru, I
card.
will say, is an archetype that goes crazy when types don't matter. But we're
Okay,
gonna
the
talk about
cover
their
cards
spell
are.
traps.
Yeah, I'm just looking. Freya, Evil Hero, Infernal Gainer, Beetle, Battlestorm, Evil Storm. Yeah, just all of the random cards.
This is Automatic Laser, and this is why this archetype needs more cards that search cards that mention Iron Core of Koa'ki Meiru. This is a normal trap. You can see in the art, it's a gun that has the Iron Core plugged into it. But this just says when your opponent normals or specials a monster with 1,000 or more attack, reveal an Iron Core in your hand to activate this card, destroy that summoned monsters. Oh, this is
Yeah.
not a terrible card.
Yeah, this is a juiced up trap hole.
Yeah, like this is basically an in-archetype trap hole. The only thing is because because of the way Yu-Gi-Oh! Searching works it's a non-searchable normal trap in this deck. If you gave them a searcher for this that worked like decently,
I think.
and I think you can search it with Supplier, but obviously Supplier's a weird guy.
Yeah, I
But,
actually like this card better because it does not send the Iron Core when you want the Iron Core in hand.
No, you just reveal it on your turn or on any turn to just blow up your opponent's monsters when they're summoned. Like that's genuinely not terrible. Again, could turn this deck around. Next, we have the Super Nintendo Super Scope, aka Core Blaster. And you hear me make that joke, chat. You'll see it when the thing goes through. It's very
know
funny.
what
This
you're
was Core Buster in the OCG. They just changed it back to Core Blaster. But yeah, it's a fucking it's a Super Scope.
Yeah, I can see why. It's just very super scopy.
It's got the interesting hexagonal design, and it looks like it plugs into an Iron Core somewhere. But yeah, it's weird. This is just an equip spell that says equip only to a Koa'ki Meiru. If it battles a light or dark, destroy that monster without applying damage calc. Again, talking about kind of the anti-meta effect.
Yeah.
When this card, when the equipped monster is removed from the field, and this card is sent to the graveyard, you can return this card to your hand. It just automatically comes back. That's, again, not terrible. I think, again, the only reason is that this is just not searchable.
Destroy. Yeah.
It's a card that you might be able to say, search a core spell trap, because there's a few of those, but it would be tricky.
Yeah.
Actually,
There's
I
that. So destroy the Lara Dark Monster.
Should have done Core Blast first. But, it's a decent counterplay.
I like this one.
I typed Core Blast into the search and then went automatically to the bottom for Master Duel because Core Blaster contains Core Blast. That's my bad. I wasn't paying attention. So Core Blaster is okay. There's ways to search and add equip spells. The main problem is just nowadays you genuinely don't know if you're going to run into a light or dark deck, but it could be useful. I do like that it understands that your Koa'ki Meirus are going to get blown up, so it just automatically recycles itself to your hand.
Yep.
When equipped.
If it had an effect where your Koa'ki Meiru is going to be destroyed by its own effect, it gets sent to grave. But yeah.
Talking about, weird control effects they do and why it would be really cool if that one guy, Power Hand, asked for continuous traps. Core Blast! This is a Iron Core overheating. Watch out for that.
This is this is evenly matching away.
Yeah, it's basically proto evenly matched. It's a weird one. So it's a continuous trap that you can only activate while you control a face-up Koa'ki Meiru. But during your standby phase, if your opponent controls more monsters than you do, destroy a number of cards your opponent controls. So your opponent controls the same number of cards as you control monsters. So this includes back row based on your monsters. This, I think, is a neat effect for the deck. It basically, because you don't have a lot of special summoning, and also your guys tend to blow themselves up, you are not going to have a lot of board presence in Koa'ki Meiru. So this basically means that if it gets all the way around to your turn again, and your opponent like hasn't gotten rid of your one Koa'ki Meiru guy, you get to just go like, you're bored? No.
So you get to turn 3, it's like, hey, you have 6 monsters on field. How about you don't?
Also, like, gets rid of back row, you know, like, even if they, like, it does require them to control more monsters, but even if they have, like, extra back row, you just get rid of it. Like, there's a weird case. Our next card, we don't got to talk much about the card art, though I do kind of like it for being quite so red. It's Core Compression. But it's just a card that is a thing that every Yu-Gi-Oh deck in like 08, 09, etc. did. This is just, you could also call this Iron Core of Greed.
Yeah.
This is just a normal spell that says, reveal an Iron Core, discard a Koa'ki Meiru monster, draw 2 cards. They did it super fair. Like, I think you could have done a draw 2 with just reveal an Iron Core, because Iron Core is, like, constantly taking up your normal draw anyway. This, you have to basically go, like, +0, because you get rid of Core Compression and you get rid of a monster to draw 2. But this is a deck that you could be bricked up on. You could have problem cards in your hand. So, throw away a Koa'ki Meiru monster and reveal an Iron Core, and you get to draw 2. It's not terrible, but, again, unsearchable, makes you go +0. It's only okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
So next art is, they called it Core Overclock. In the OCG, it was Over Core Limit, but calling it Core Overclock, I think, works. This is a continuous spell, so it can work with ice. It shows Rooklord powering up. Once again, I remind you, Rooklord is a warrior. That is a human man. Definitely not a robot. Pay no attention to the thing that's going on with his face. Anyway, this continuous spell says, all face-up Koa'ki Meiru monsters you control gain 500 attack. Once per turn during your main phase, you can discard a Iron Core of Koa'ki Meiru to have all face-up Koa'ki Meiru monsters you control gain 1,000 attack until the end phase. This is just like... the passive 500 attack is probably okay enough for your deck. You do have a lot of high attack guys. This makes them all bigger. It can allow you to push for an OTK with 1,000 because you don't have a lot of guys on board usually.
Yeah,
it's
glad
again, just
to
kind of
not have it being hard. Glad for it to be glad for it to be a hard once per turn. But also just like, why even run this when you could probably run something better?
You could probably come up with another way to give your guys 500 attack.
Yeah.
But, it's functional.
Were people... I guess... I think Honest was already out at this time.
Yeah, I mean, none of your guys are lights or darks, but...
Yeah. And then also those Black Queen boosters.
Kalut, yes, and a few others. There were some better cards you could have done. That's another thing that, like, if they gave this archetype modern support, giving them a guy like that could be another funny thing is give a Koa'ki Meiru card that stays in your hand, and you can reveal it and declare it is a monster type for the rest of this turn. This card in your hand is treated as that type, like kind of like the Metal Illusionist guy. Like, just make it so that it can pretend to be any type in your hand. Anyway, this is core reinforcement. They're doing more experiments on the Iron Core. They're plugging some juice in. The juice center. This is a continuous trap that says, select and special summon a Koa'ki Meiru from your graveyard in attack position. Okay, so it's Call of the Haunted, but just for Koa'ki Meirus. When that monster is destroyed during your end phase, the controller of this card takes damage equal to that monster's attack. When this card is removed from the field, destroy that monster. When that monster is destroyed, destroy this card. So it is just like we've talked before about how Koa'ki Meirus don't have a lot of great special summoning ways. Core Reinforcement is just Call of the Haunted, but for your Koa'ki Meirus, it does allow you to summon nasty guys like Drago and etc. on your opponent's turn if they're in your graveyard, which is not super hard to set up. It does like punish you by burning you if during the end phase it gets, destroyed. But it's an okay card. Definitely because you have your Floodgate type and negate effect, this is better than it would be normally. Because you could, if you have guys in your graveyard, you just go, cool, Core Reinforcement. My Drago's back. You can't special summon Lights or Darks. My Overdose. I activate Overload to block your summon, your normal summon.
Yeah.
Oh, you have an extender. I summon him back with Core Reinforcement.
Yeah.
Next we
summon
have
back Guardian.
Core Transport Unit. It's just the Iron Core and a pneumatic tube. This is a continuous spell card that I think is also another card that's essential to this deck. This is just once per turn, discard a card, add Iron Core from your deck to your hand. Again, pair this with a card that says add a spell card that mentions Iron Core of Koa'ki Meiru. This card's crazy good. For the purpose of this deck. This is just discard any card, add Iron Core. There you go. You're set up. You've got it.
Yeah, put any card that you want in the graveyard, including Iron Core, because some of these cards want Iron Core in the graveyard.
Yeah. There's room for this deck to do better. Now, I do want to say, again, I will reiterate, I kind of agree with Dallas that if this deck were to actually be good as a deck, you'd have to make it in such a playstyle so that it boxed out the really annoying stuff, or you would just have to probably ban Drago and maybe some others. Next, Iron Core Armor. Interesting, by the way, that this has a different name. The OCG name for this is all in Japanese, Kokakushuno. It's just Steel Core Storage, but it's clearly got the mark of the Iron Core on it.
I think this was the Guardian armor that one of the guys wore already.
Yeah. This is another one that, is shockingly good. You can only equip it to a Koa'ki Meiru, but during damage calc only, monsters that battle this card lose attack equal to the equipped monster's level times 100. So at least 400, and keep in mind, most of your boys are pretty big. If you actually summoned one of your large guys, like a 7 or 8 or something, they're losing, 7 or 800, it could work. But more importantly, if the equipped monster would be destroyed during the end phase, send this card to the graveyard instead. It doesn't recycle itself like Blaster, but it just gives your guys protection if you don't have the core, or if your opponent interrupts that somehow.
This card is pretty good. It's like the lesser version of that one continuous spell.
Yeah, it's pretty normal. I think we can. It's decent. Here's another funny one. Speaking of how some of these cards want the Iron Core in the graveyard, this card, the art is hilarious because it's literally just a Photoshop. They just tilted and stretched it. But the name of this card is one of the best in this archetype. Iron Core Immediate Disposal. In the OCG, Urgent Steel Core Disposal. So, chat, Foolish Burial Goods didn't exist for a long time. This is a normal spell that just says, send the Iron Core from your deck to your graveyard.
Just do it.
Literally just bin it. Didn't hit what is it? Core Transport Unit. That's okay. Just send it to your graveyard instead. We can work with that. So, not the greatest effect, but very funny, and I think does have some utility. This deck has good ideas. It's just very funny about how it comes about. Okay, this is another card that's again, if this was searchable, this would be pretty good. This is Iron Core Luster. It's small for some reason. Let me...
the spell trap.
Back one. Yeah, this is the archetype. Well, not Omni because it's only spell traps, but you know what I mean. It's a counter trap in archetype. For an archetypal counter trap, it's a pretty okay one. This is again just a counter trap that came out in Ancient Prophecy, one of your first waves, and just says, reveal an Iron Core in your hand, negate an opponent's spell trap card, and destroy it on a counter trap. Again, good. It's decent. Obviously, it requires you to have Iron Cores in your hand, but like that's pretty all right.
Yep.
It's just, again, not searchable. Like I said, Konami could bring this back. They could make it work. I don't know if they would make it work, but they could make it work. All right, here's the field spell. We've been talking about it. And actually, I got to double check. Is this... I think technically this art might have been censored for a goofy reason. It has been edited. Yeah, I see worldwide versus Japanese. Yeah, it's because I think Koa'ki or one of those guys has horns. Is that magical scientist in the front slot from behind? I think it is.
Yes. Yes, it is.
It's another very funny thing.
I think it's the left scientist we do not have a card for.
That seems like a great legacy support to make that a guy.
Watch, that guy just bridges into a magical scientist and Koa'ki Meiru somehow.
I mean, that would be funny. Koa'ki Meiru doesn't use an extra deck, so. But this is your field spell, the Iron Core Specimen Lab. Like I said, here's Drago when he was a baby. He looks great. He looks adorable. He's about to get real fucked up.
Darn you, scientists! Why are you messing with the baby?
But this is a field spell that just says during each of your end phases, destroy this card unless you reveal an Iron Core in your hand. Each time a Koa'ki Meiru on the field is destroyed during the end phase, add a Koa'ki Meiru from your deck to your hand. It just replaces your guys when they're destroyed. This is okay. Like, I think it's decent for like 2010. Like, because it says each time a Koa'ki Meiru is destroyed, you add a Koa'ki Meiru. So, like, you can cycle through your guys pretty good. You could strategically, like, blow up one of your guys to add a new guy who's the right, like, type to protect a different guy. It has utility. It's just, its only thing is that it replaces a guy. You know, it makes you go +0 instead of -1. And they're still in your hand. So, I think there's room for it to, you know, to be better. But for 2010, it was an okay field spell.
Yeah.
All right. Next is an actual spell trap that is named Koa'ki Meiru. Koa'ki Meiru, initialize!
Oh, yeah. That is the...
That's ice. Oh, sorry, I yawned in the chat.
Initial...
Initialize has ice on it, I think. This is a quick play spell that says tribute a Koa'ki Meiru monster, add Iron Core from your deck or graveyard to your hand.
Yep.
It's another great card. From deck or graveyard, just add it to your hand to get rid of a guy.
Just chunks of ice are flying off him as he flying the core.
It's a quick play, so you can do it on either turn. That's like
I think this is
card.
Only quick play spell.
Next, another very simple card art. Koa'ki Meiru Shield. This is a normal trap.
Oh, is that... Oh, right.
Shield on it.
This is one that wants you to have cores engraved.
Yes. This is, Koa'ki Meiru Mirror Force, basically, but it's silly. This is a normal trap that just says activate only when your opponent monster declares an attack if you have 2 or more Iron Cores in your graveyard. So if you've run through your Iron Cores and haven't put them back yet. But you destroy all face-up attack because your monster opponent controls. I'm pretty sure during the early 5Ds, Mirror Force was at least limited, if not outright banned.
I think so, actually.
So, like, giving you an archetype Mirror Force was pretty common.
Yeah, I think this card might have been funnier if they said if you had 3 or more, 3 in the graveyard, it would be like all cards that your opponent has gets banished.
It could, it could have some utility. It's okay.
But
Obviously,
then
these days you're playing a
Though then again, with getting the Iron Core in a graveyard is difficult.
Yeah. I also want to say, I think it's so funny, because they've got a couple of these. They basically have a Trap Hole, they have a Mirror Force, they have a Call by the Haunted, and they also have a Ring of Destruction, but in a really weird way. It's Koa'ki Meiru Ring. It's a Ring of Destruction made of Koa'ki Meiru Iron Cores.
So when was Shield released?
Shield was like 2010? I think it was an Absolute Power Force. Let me go back. No,
So
Shining
it's
Dark,
like
but it was
Mirror
2010.
Force Mirror Force was released from the ban list in
I think they were both shared.
September in 2010, but it was limited.
Okay, so it was still limited when the card came out, but, you know, that means you get to play 4 copies. Koa'ki Ring is, it's a normal spell that just says reveal an Iron Core in your hand, target a face-up monster on the field, destroy it, both players take 1,000. It's just Ring of Destruction. It's a normal spell, but it does the Ring of Destruction thing. Very funny that they did this for a couple of these to give them basically the effect of cards that were at some various points banned.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know there was. Actually, there is a rain card that I think is a lesser version of Rain of Destruction that this card goes after.
There are a few clones. This is a card that's also really weird. I don't know about the pun, but it's in the lore. You can see the Iron Core on it. The TCG name of this is Negaton Core Panel. The name in the OCG is just Ability Absorption Core. They decided to get really weird with the pun. This is just, what is it, Divine Wrath as a Koa'ki Meiru card. You can activate only if you control a Koa'ki Meiru monster and have Iron Core in your graveyard. Negate an effect monster's effect and destroy it. This is probably a little too much setup. You have to have both a Koa'ki Meiru monster and have the Iron Core in your graveyard, which means you have to have sent it, as opposed to have you know, revealed a monster. To just get a negate and destroy of an effect monster effect, because there's a couple ways you can do that in this deck. But it's not like they weren't giving the deck teeth. It's just, you know, it's really weird.
Yeah. Just feels like they were just like throwing stuff at the wall.
Yeah. They just gave them a lot of generic control effects and just degenericed them. This is a normal trap, Reckoned Power, or in the OCG, Reckless Power. This is just, it's not quite Feather Duster because it's face down, but this is your response to like blowing up back row. It's a normal trap that says reveal an Iron Core, destroy all face down spell traps your opponent controls. This is a normal trap, so your opponent can just flip up certain traps in response to this, but, you know, if they're playing conditional back row, it can kind of clean them all out. Like, force the activation of certain things. It's a trap itself, so, like, I guess the idea is, like, you set this going first, and then in the end phase, you flip it before your opponent's traps are live, but it's still an odd one. I don't think this one is super good in terms of, like, even for the time, but I can't say they didn't give them a lot of tools.
Yep.
Next, this is our last card for the night.
Ooh.
This is Urgent Synthesis.
Oh, that's 4 arms. Okay.
Let's see. When was this guy printed? Raging Battle. Damn, this early. This is another card that's phenomenally good. It's just, again, not searchable.
Craftman.
Like, chat, the one thing I want you to realize is that's the thing that I think kept Koa'ki Meiru from being really good, is you can't really search their spell traps super easily. All this deck really needs is, like, a different field spell that says add a spell trap card that mentions Iron Core of Koa'ki Meiru, except probably Iron Core of Koa'ki Meiru from your deck to your hand. And then, like, a lot of these are really good. So Urgent Synthesis, it has Power Hand on it. He's bursting out of the core. This is a normal trap that says return Iron Core from your graveyard to your deck, special summon a level 4 Koa'ki Meiru from your hand or graveyard. Again, that's ludicrously strong. Your level 4s are really good. This is an extra guy, and it puts him back in the deck. So, like, this is an okay recycling card. It's like, it's all positives, right? Like, you return Iron... Well, not all positives, because sometimes you want the Iron Core in your graveyard, but you know what I mean, right? Like, recycles an Iron Core and summons a guy from hand or graveyard. Like, that can be very powerful. The main thing I think that this deck could use, Mr. Konami, if you're listening, is, again, needs a way to search spell traps that specifically mention Iron Core Koa'ki Meiru, and not on a special summon of a guy who's really, really hard to special summon. And also, probably needs, again, some kind of effect for a card that, like, treats itself as Iron Core of Koa'ki Meiru, maybe only in graveyard, so you, like, if you can't do the reveal effect, but, like, get a normal spell that, like, this card's name becomes Iron Core in the graveyard kind of a thing, so you can set up those cards that want it in graveyard, and then also, like, does other things. And just probably generally needs some counterplay. The main problem is I think that you'd have to add a lot for this deck to be playable, and you don't want to do that because you don't want to support necessarily some of the cards this does. Like, they have no extra deck monsters at all. I would not want, and I would want to be careful about giving them like a Link 1 or Link 2, you know, that does stuff. Because again, if you just keep special summoning level 4s for free, you're gonna just run into a problem where, like, you gotta ban Drago. Personally, I wouldn't mind if you just banned Drago. He's kind of annoying, you know, can't summon lights or darks is like a really annoying effect.
Yeah, I would just be like, ban a few cards, bring it up to maybe tier 2, like, tier 3 status.
Doom's annoying, but, like, it's only light and dark monsters in the main phase, so, like, you might be able to get around it. He's also really weak. He's, like, 1700 attack, so you could always do the classic thing of just do enough summoning to, like, get a bigger guy, and then just, like, run him over, go to main phase 2, right?
Yeah.
Like, and that's not that hard.
I think... Plus, he doesn't prevent, monsters being special from hand.
Yeah. He activates
or their effects in hand.
There's a few different guys, like, that are annoying. Drago's probably the worst as a floodgate. Obviously, like, summoning out cards like Guardian, Sandman, etc. are tricky. But rock decks can already do that because they're level 4 or lower rocks. Like, you know, the deck itself could benefit. I think the main thing is just that this is clearly set up as an anti-meta control deck with, like, a weird upkeep theme, and then doesn't actually, like the way this deck closes the game is probably OTKing you with, like, a big asshole, but, like, they're not even that big, so, you know, it's tricky to set up.
Yep. This deck, this archetype plus Ally Justice plus what was the other one? The Mech Lord.
Yeah, Mech Lord.
Mech Lord deck. The Mech Lords were released at a time when it was getting to Exceed, so they were useless almost immediately.
Yeah, they were. Sorry, I'm yawning again. They were a late 5D's plot point, so, like, they came out too late in the cycle, and then people just played Exceeds. Yeah, anti-meta is always a thing that's, like, really. I think it's hard for game designers to design anti-meta into their core sets. Like, cards that are anti-meta will depend on what the meta game is and what people playing those decks want to play. So, like, it's tricky to build in a deliberately anti-meta deck. Ally of Justice, it got better when they just made it, like, non-lights at some point, but when it was explicitly, like...
Yep.
Oh, no, it was specifically 4 light monsters because it was Worm. When they made it just, like, non-darks, like, got better. And even then, light's pretty good, so there's some bets, but...
Like, the first good, like, anti-meta deck was, like, Monarch. True Domain Monarch.
Yeah, Domain Monarch. Just don't play the extra deck and shut people off. You know, it's... There's ways you could do, and, like... Again, I think the only reason why this didn't become, like, a variant you could do, like a Monarch thing was, one, I think very few of the archetypes, like, the types line up. And also, there's not very many tribute monsters. But technically, there are one tribute monsters in this deck that you could, like, they don't have the Monarch stat lines, but you could do, like, domain shit, and you don't want to do that. So, like, the deck would need a lot of help to be good, and I don't think Konami wants to commit. That said, like, they're crazy with it for legacy support these days. Yeah. So I could absolutely... absolutely see like a run where they just like preemptively ban Draco and then just run together like probably a couple more main deck monsters, give them like a couple of extra deck monsters. I do think giving them like a link actually works for the way the deck works, because you don't need that many extra decks. So like giving them just like a link one in the EMZ. That'll obviously mean you can't play them in Genesis, but you know, there's other ways. It's that, or like I said, give them just nut up and give them a rank 4 that just says that, you know,
that too.
When you would, you know, when a Koa'ki Meiru requires you to reveal a card, just detach a material from this card instead, you know, kind of a thing, like just
or they give them a
like
field spell that just, or they give them a field spell that just says reveal any Koa'ki Meiru card as your cost.
Yeah, like and remember, Yu-Gi-Oh cards can do anything. You could do a field spell that says, you know, during the end phase when you would discard a Iron Core of Koa'ki Meiru, you can reveal that instead to you know, as the effect, like as the cost or whatever.
So
that,
again, actually would be funny if you could use a field spell that says, hey, if I reveal a core instead, it just says your opponent has to choose one of their monsters to blow up, and they cannot activate in the graveyard.
A very funny effect, to just like make it so that like when your opponent has to pay the cost or their monsters blow up, kind of a thing. Like there's ways you could make you do it. It's just, I think Dallas was correct earlier. Not to keep repeating that, but Dallas did have to leave, so I do want to make sure I'm acknowledging that it happened.
But,
this deck could have a very annoying gameplay style if it was just like made good. Like if you just did Koa'ki Meiru but good, I think there would be some things you'd have to manipulate. But I think there's also some really interesting tech in this that could make this work. So like it's a fun one that I think you could try and check out. And that is the definitive Koa'ki Meiru episode. Like I said, I'm researching some of these cards I've never seen.
Yep.
Well, listen, if they do support.
Until Konami decides, like, oh, someone talked about these cards.
That does seem to be the way it works. So we're gonna wind down the fail portrayal. I have been sick. I'm still a little sick. I'm well enough that taking some normal meds makes me functional. Chat. I have absolutely no idea what we're doing next week, but if this is your first time watching, we do fail portrayal every week, basically, assuming I don't feel too terrible to do it. So we'll figure something out. Go back and check out some stuff. If you want to check out our previous, we've got a whole playlist of these. Maybe by watching the archives, you'll figure out when we did talk about some Koa'ki Meirus. Koa'ki Meiru was picked by a combination of our patrons and YouTube members. You can support this channel on Patreon or through YouTube membership in order to get in those new polls. I have not posted the new FP poll on Patreon yet. I'm going to wait a little bit because I got more responses when I posted it a little later in the month rather than posting it early. So we'll hold on to it for a second, and I'll remind you on a couple of episodes. Also, YouTube is yelling at me to remind people to, like, oh, if you mention YouTube memberships, people are 3 times as likely to become members. And I'm like, okay, sure, YouTube. But, we try to do Fail Portrayal every week, so keep an eye on that. We do other streaming. We would have streamed Resident Evil Revelations yesterday, but I was too ill for it. So we'll be back to that next week. We will probably be streaming Final Fantasy XIV tomorrow at some point, because that's my usual Wednesday stream. Don't know if it'll be for the full 3-ish hours. There it is. There's the Loth. He slept in. I figured he did, or was busy.
Yeah.
You didn't sleep in too much. You're sore. That's okay. You just missed, Iron Core of Koa'ki Meiru, which did defeat your beloved Soul Jersey.
And you missed the scientists doing terrible things to the baby dragon.
That's okay, though, Loth. I suspect because it's our strong second place that Soul Jersey will win this month's poll, unless I come up with something stupider to put it up against, which I probably won't.
Yeah, Soul Jersey is Go Rush.
Yes. Yeah, but Loth thinks it's very funny, and we've done Rush stuff
Yeah, it
before,
is very funny. It was before they decided to add ritual summon into Go Rush.
Sorry, Loth. It's okay. You'll win this time.
Yeah. Go
now,
on.
now, watch chat flip
Yeah,
me
you'll
over on
win.
that. But I listen. It's
Yeah.
it's another majority card deck that's getting votes, so I think it's a strong contender. Yeah, that's everything I had though. So thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time. Bye bye, everybody. Liking and
Yeah.
commenting and subscribing.